and Kyrene, you will take raffle ticket money. Good luck. Please also keep score sheets where we can quickly and easily find them so we can update scores quickly. Thank you.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the inaugural H&R Open, continuing a live coverage of this wonderful event live on Bowlstream TV from Bowlero, Kyrene here in Chandler, Arizona. Emil Williams Jr. will have Carl Long. Actually, Carl's got his headset on. So Carl Long with us. And Chris Schlemmer, Roto Schlemmer will join us in a little bit as well. This is now squad number 4. Again, there are 8 total squads, and those are 6-game squads. We had a 3-game sweeper last night, along with the wonderful action match between Robert Smith and Greg Thompson Jr. But from here on out, including this morning, of course, 6-game squads, except for the Desperado, I should say that, which will be the final qualifying opportunity on Saturday night, and that will be a 2-game sprint. But we've got a long way to go before we get there. Hope all of you are well here in the Bowlstream TV chat. Thank you for joining us and continuing to join us and hang out. Many of you are now on, you've watched as much bowling as we have, some of you. So we appreciate you for doing so. In front of us, we start with 9 and 10, Chad Luch. I got to get the first name for Mr. Gage here. Unless Carl's got some additional info for me. Joseph Gage, thank you very much. And then Adrian Hare also on 9 and 10. Tim Simonis, hopefully Jess is watching as we start on 11 and 12. Uh-oh, Jess, he's moving right today. And Sean Finch, we are skipping one pair, so one pair to the left or one pair to the right. And it looks like we are using lanes 3 through about 24-ish here in squad number 4. Bottom right of your screen, a good look at 5 through 8 over there. Brett Wolf, Kyle Duster, and Hope Gramley on 5 and 6. Then Carson Opella, Brian Hare, and Jason Anderson. Not a bad start over there too. 5 through 8 actually. So take a look at full screen over there in a little bit. I see the Dylan Taylor down there on 3 and 4. Folks, there's only one Dylan Taylor. I hope you get a chance to meet him at some point in your lifetime. Carl, actually, there was a question in the chat, and of course we've been informing viewers on format and really how all cuts work. And the main cut, of course, is from qualifying to the cashers round, of which we won't know for sure until Saturday based on the entries. Is there a ratio, if you will, that you have in mind, obviously based on whatever the total ends up being?
So it's 1 in 5.
1 in 5.
Yeah, so it's on the flyer. It's been highly publicized, I guess. But no, to make it just known out to everybody, it is a 1 in 5 cut. So that's also your load of cash. It's $550 once you make our original cut. And I think that's one of the big key elements to these entries. So just to put it in perspective, when you bowled last night or on Thursday, if you entered the first entry on a Thursday, it was $225. All your re-entries are now $175. If you wait till Friday or Saturday, your first entry is now $275 with a $175 re-entry. If you think about it for just a financial standpoint, if you get one squad in Thursday for 2 1/4, and you bowl an additional 2 full entries at $175 each, your grand total is $575. If you make a cut off of 3 squad opportunities, you're in $25, and now you're in the finals to go for 10 grand.
Right. Only way you can get there.
The only way you can get there. But there's a lot of amazing tournaments out there. But I really want to know how many tournaments out there can you bowl 3 full entries, 6-game blocks, all 3, and if you make the first cut, pretty much get your money back, and you're free rolling.
Not many.
So I think that's what's been enticing for this tournament. And I hope I've marketed well enough to where it made sense for most, and I think the numbers are starting to show it. Obviously, a very light squad on a Friday morning. Everyone's at work. But last night, with Thursday, both squads, good size. And then with the sweeper last night, it was stout. It was pretty good.
Absolutely.
We had 60-plus entries last night for a $100 beat the board. And I think we're starting to see, we have 30-plus entries on this squad with 7 o'clock. The weekend's here now.
Oh, yeah.
So tonight, it's looking like, hey, no more work, time to bowl. So I wish everyone the best of luck that have already competing now. And we look forward to getting some re-entries and seeing some fresh faces that are officially going to be here this evening and tomorrow.
Yeah, you have to think any highly publicized event like this one, especially with the purse and what's being advertised, obviously what's guaranteed, Let's put that out there. What's guaranteed at the top from a prize fund perspective? $10K. You know, you expect Saturday to be popping. So I know it's going to be hopping tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten a lot of calls and a lot of messages. How full are we? Well, all I can tell you is pre-registration was open all the way until
Right.
Wednesday late
I was
night.
going to say last week. No,
Yeah,
this week.
this past Wednesday,
Right.
yeah, just 2 days ago. Now it's come in and sign up right away. We have people that officially came in today just to pay for tomorrow's squads. They wanted to get in here just to make sure that they don't lock themselves out. And one caveat to the Desperado tomorrow night, because I know that's going to be brought up. You had to have bowled 2 main event squads to qualify for the Desperado.
Good call there.
You know, I want to just make sure everyone knows. I mean, it's posted online. It's posted all over Facebook. It's posted here in the center, you know, just as a tournament highlight, just to make sure everyone knows that you cannot bowl just one squad tomorrow at 6 o'clock, as an example. Should you not be in the cut after that one squad, you will not be eligible to sign up for the last chance Desperado, because we're only inviting people that have taken a minimum of 2 opportunities to qualify. Just want to make sure that, you know, that gets relayed out there to everybody.
I'm imagining, you know, part of that process is just because the number of squads available, right? So you've given players the opportunity to bowl essentially whenever they want.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
so we get to that point where, all right, this is my last effort to try. Hey, you know, I gave you 8 chances. Essentially, I asked you to bowl twice.
Right. No, absolutely. And, you know, and I want to reward the people that, you know what, they believe in the tournament, they've come out, and they've given their best. You know, a minimum of 2 opportunities, and they want to take one last opportunity to kind of get into that final field and try to run the gamut. And because of that, that's who deserves it. You know, not saying that no one else doesn't deserve it, but the guys that have bowled multiple times, they truly want to try to make it.
Right.
And giving them one last opportunity versus someone that maybe just decides to bowl, hey, I'm going to take one shot at 6 o'clock on a Saturday, and if I don't make it, I'll just bowl the 2-game, you know, Desperado. As much as I appreciate the opportunity to get a second entry off of Desperado, I want to give it to the guys that, you know, and it's been publicized since day one.
Right.
You know, if you don't bowl twice, you just can't be eligible for the Desperado.
Well, there could be a few people trying to not even think about a Desperado squad the way this game 1 is beginning, but this has been what I would say now kind of par for this pattern. This is the 4th squad, and there's been some opportunities for score in game 1 on the fresh, and several players have taken that opportunity and cashed it in.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we're right in front of us. You know, we have, you know, Adrian with spare 4-bagger. And then Robert Smith just
Did he make
picked
a
up
7-10?
something.
That was a 7-10, I bet, wasn't it?
I'm trying to get to see what happened down there. Was it?
Sure, it was a 7-10.
Oh, I guess it was.
Of course
Robert
it was.
Smith picks up the 7-10.
Why couldn't he do that on lane 12?
Too soon.
I might have to.
He said too.
I might have to go back and take a look in the corner. I was speaking from the live stream purposes of catching, not bowling on that pair, which is, I think, is where you went with that.
Yes, because I'm like,
no.
I'm like, wow, Emil took a dig.
No, God, no. I just wanted to have it so I can go back and clip it.
My apologies.
No. No. This is not bowling related. Absolutely not.
Oh, goodness.
Okay,
Well,
what did I
fun.
miss? Emil taking digs on who?
Oh, here we go. Welcome to the
See, we talked about this earlier, but something completely different, right?
Yes.
My man's got a shovel?
When
What's
you
going
say
on over
something
here?
and it may not be right or the wrong context, people will take it in a different way and run with it.
So let's clarify this right now.
Yep.
So Robert Smith just picked up the 7-10.
Yeah, and for the record, Robert has 148, now picking his 710. So he's already beat, 4 of his 5 games last night in the
Oh, what
cash
a
money
segue.
game.
That couldn't have been
That's
a
a
more
proper
interesting segue to what you were about to explain.
And so
Did I beat you to it?
We confirm it and we go, and Carl says, yep, he picked up the 7-10. And I went, man, how come he couldn't do that on lane 12? right? So Carl, and Carl then said, "Oh, like
Too soon."
right? Too soon." And I go, "No. I'm saying lane 12 so I can go back and clip it,
From a camera perspective.
and maybe
Right.
catch it,
Yeah.
not bowling related."
Oh, and by the way, he
last
caught a
night.
strike right there, so he's got 168 and the 7th strike up in the 8th. So, again,
That's
it
great.
comes back to what I think we've been talking about through all the squads and events of more people on a pair. You get time to break it down. And Robert's actually using urethane, I think, playing out is what it looked like, which he eventually got to late in that match last night. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's different things. And obviously, I'm watching some other folks try and throw urethane. Not looking so good. But, again,
And that's what we discussed earlier today, off camera, between blocks, is what we discussed, and we were talking about where we thought the cut score might be, and why my guess was a little higher. But this was the explanation that I thought might be is the more these bowlers have an opportunity to kind of see the pattern, you know, not for re-entry purposes, but just because they need to, you know, they already have a good idea of what it looks like now.
correct.
You know,
Yeah, again,
Rob's
and
in,
but
two squads.
yeah, they're going to get a better idea what it is. But the truth is, the X factor is crossing this building, and exactly like what Andrew said, or even like Matt Jones last night, and Andrew Kane, and some of the others that are locals that know the ins and outs. It's a matter of catching the right pair at the right time and being able to connect them, because again, we saw it last night and even in the sweeper, and now we're going to see it here today. I mean, there's some decent games going to pop off here this first game, but again, the next pair, is it anything remotely close to what you just came off of?
Right.
Probably not. You know, because then you look at the pair right next to Robert and the guys he's with. The pair literally right next door no one's got a double on 17 and 18. And in fact, it looks like the high game of the top bowler could actually, because he split in the 8th, struck in the 9th. So the top bowler can punch out for 200 even. And the other two scorers, the one guy needs a double to get to 130. And the other one's looking at 150. So, but then down here, 147 and a 7th strike up. 142 in the 7th strike up, 159 on a out. So, I mean, everybody on that pair could shoot 200. So, it is such a vast array of scoring paces right now. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, 5 through 8 started out very well, and they continued. Brian Hare got a chance to get to 230.
Yeah.
Jason Anderson can still get into 230s. Carson Opella can get to 219. On 9 and 10, of course, Adrian in front of us can still get into 250s.
Yep.
Then you had Kyle Duster over there. He can get into the 250s as well. Kyle, bottom of your screen right now. We'll bring him up full screen here. You can see this shot, lane 6. Two-hand little loft. Purple hammer. Goodness. Purpose purpling.
Yeah, so still got 250 left there off the sheet, yeah. How many entries did he end up on this squad?
31, I believe.
31, okay.
Let me take a look real quick.
No, you're fine.
I can run that down for you.
I figured there had to be 30 something because it looked like we got 3. Looks like the one pair down there has only got 2. Like on 21 to 22 maybe.
My eyes are not that good.
Yeah, there is one pair with 2.
Or is it the last 2 pair that only got 2? Oh, either way,
or the
we're around 30-ish people. So, again, a good chunk, and the pattern's going to transition. And you think about it, this is, from a squad perspective, this is the first busy squad. I guess. Well, no, I guess we had 30 in the afternoon yesterday.
Yeah, squad 2 was about the same.
I was going to say, because obviously the transition happened differently last night for the sweeper.
Right.
When you got 4 in a pair. But now you're going to see, 3 in a pair. And again, as I see it more, some people using surface, some guys trying to do the urethane thing. Others using a lot bigger ball with surface. Different variations of attack, I think, is what we're seeing. That's a pretty good pitch right there.
That was a nice shot by Carson Opella. Excuse me, Carson.
32.
32. Okay.
32.
Thank you, sir.
Good question from Steph Sell regarding the Desperado.
Okay.
With the 1 in 5 cut ratio, she asked, will there be, essentially, will you take a couple from the Desperado, or will that be the only squad per se where there's a set number of players that advance?
So the Desperado is actually a 1 in 8 cut.
1 in 8. Gotcha.
It's a $100 2-game shootout. It's 2 games total pinfall, and we cut 1 in 8.
Okay.
Do you have the graphic by the flyer? by chance? Is that possible to throw up for 2 seconds, the flyer? Do you have that flyer graphic?
The flyer graphic.
The original flyer graphic? I'm not sure. No big deal. I just wanted the...
I can get it. It's going to take up the full screen, so I would show it in between games.
Got it. Perfect. But yeah, the numbers to keep in mind is the 1 in 5 main event cut score.
Mm-hmm.
The sweeper was last night at a 1 in 6 cash ratio. And then also the Desperado is a 1 in 8. Those are the 3 main ratios. And I guess the biggest number to remember is 10K for first and 550 low to cash.
That's it. So yeah, we're seeing some decent scores here on the low end. And like I said, right here in the middle, get some ups and downs. Especially here like 13 and 14, got high in the pair there is, 185.
That's a nice finish. Kyle Duster, 248.
Yeah, for sure.
Mr. Wolf did make that spare, bottom of your screen.
Okay.
He can get to 206 with a strike. Jason Anderson, bottom of your screen, right. He started very well, and then the last 4 frames have been a bit tough.
So Robert Smith's looking at 250 over there on 15 and 16. Got the first 2 in the 10th, and that is 10 back. 258 points for Maximum Bob.
258 points.
Yeah, so now we'll wait and see. He's moving left, so he's actually going to come. Are they skipping a pair this set?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're skipping a pair, so he'll be here on 11 and 12, and we'll see.
Oh, 11 and 12.
What obviously we only got one guy getting to 200 here on this pair, so we'll see if there's anything remotely close to what he just came off of.
It's been game 2, as we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't know what to expect. Don't expect what you just came off of. That's number 1.
Rob just wanted to remind us he remembered how to throw the ball, is what he just said.
And even with having 3 in a pair, I think the pace of play has actually been, like we saw this morning with spreading out and only having 1 on some pairs and 2s on others. We got a little backlogged and up and down, but now here everybody kind of finished about the same time. So it's actually pretty good. Should make the squad roll pretty smoothly, I would think. Hashtag no comment.
Well.
All right.
So who's heading over this way? We got Robert. We have Carson in front of us again. Jason O. Is Chad here now?
He's
Chad's
moving.
moving.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he
Chad's
was.
moving.
Yeah.
All right, Carl was talking about the flyer. There it is on the screen.
Yeah, so just quickly, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. The cut ratio is on the left, going up and down, and then you have your squat times and your entry costs. And, the big banner of 10K on top, guaranteed. Other than that, and thank you again to all our sponsors. They're right there listed above. Actually, we have a couple of extra sponsors too that weren't on this original flyer. But yeah, again, thank you to everyone that's coming out. So far, so good.
If you wouldn't mind, actually, as we kind of get Game 2 started, you've been doing sponsor spotlights basically for months.
Yes.
Leading up to the tournament. Would you mind just kind of sharing a few nuggets about a few sponsors, and we can kind of do this throughout, every time you pop on, but and feel free to start with whoever you want, but just to we were talking about Unwind earlier as an example.
Yes.
and kind of what they do, but give a spotlight on a couple of those sponsors.
Well, first and foremost, Bowling Dynamics, Dave Sirigliano. Happy belated birthday yesterday. Great addition to the sponsors here. He's been here at the tournament site, and his pro shop is located here at Bowlero Kyrene. Amazing to have him out here. Another, I Am Bowling, Brian Cooper. We have a raffle today. We're giving away some gift certificates for, some jerseys. And then Ramsey Automotive. It's a local automotive company out here that does automotive repair. I like to say hi to Nick. He's a big backer of bowling. He sponsors the CBE as well. So I'd like to thank Nick for all his support for the bowling community and our tournaments. We'll keep going throughout the list, but yeah, those are just a few that wanted to make sure they get a quick shout out and some love, because they definitely deserve it. This tournament wouldn't be possible without sponsors like them, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's all part of the process, and obviously, like Emil and I have discussed, your ability to, you can explain your promotion background and bringing everything together. Obviously it's not, and like I told you a couple times now, dude, it's one of those things that, not everybody has that ability or that knack, and you have that ability, and, again, without their support, this all doesn't come together,
Absolutely. Even though the name of the tournament is, the Agent Open after myself and my family, there's credit where credit is due. And that is to all the sponsors and the people behind the scenes. Like yourself, Emil, Aaron Yamamoto. There's just so many guys and girls that have just, from long conversations to little nuggets. All of that built and made this the way it was.
Look at that.
Wow.
My man thought he was going to foul, and he went 10 back.
He went almost foul to dead flush.
Let's go.
Whatever works.
Jason O. Let's go, Jason O.
Put it on a T-shirt.
There you go. It says it right there. Oh.
I got booted from the iPad, so I'm down to the phone. Kicked me out of the iPad.
I have mine.
What's up, Jared Bear, 300. It's a good man right there. Appreciate your support as always, my friend. Hope all is well. I know you should be nearby, so I hope the day is treating you well. Just talked about Jason O. Got Kyle Duster. A couple more names I need to get. And talk intelligently about who is bowling in front of us. I heard someone say there's too much oil.
There's too much grease. Did the lean Zamboni put too much wax on them?
So earlier I mentioned I had never heard the bucket and the handle comment or leave.
Yeah.
Or I should say called that, right?
Yeah.
That term, that glossary term from bowling.
Yeah.
And what you just, the
lane Zamboni.
The lane Zamboni.
Yeah.
Makes so much sense.
Right? It's just a mini version. You can't really ride on it. I mean, especially somebody my size, it doesn't really fit on a lane machine, but it'd be cool if they could put a seat on it, just like a Zamboni.
That'd be dope.
But yeah, no, they used to, obviously the guys at Kegel, I'm friends with a lot of those guys, and, Gus Fouchon's a good friend of mine and over the years, and, he's with U.S. Bowling now, but yeah, it was the deal of the lane Zamboni. He's like, yep, I'm going to go fill the Crisco tank and put some of that good grease on them. Wax them on up for y'all for the next squad. So, yeah, just joking and having fun.
Speaking of people on the stream, where's KJ at? He's been MIA all week.
Kevin Jenkins?
Yeah.
He's in the chat.
I know.
Okay.
Speaking of,
He'll be here. I think he
know.
bowls tomorrow.
Yes, he does. He does. But usually he's out here, chirping in the back a little bit. So I was
He's been
hoping to
chirping
catch him.
virtually.
Okay, there you go.
Virtually.
But I did ask him
Keyboard warrior.
some
as they
good
call
info.
those people.
He was kind enough to share some info and what he was thinking on strategy earlier today when we were chatting, and even just now, he actually did say earlier that he didn't think for him your thing would be an option. So obviously, a couple of players who are giving it a whirl here. I mean, right
Robert's
now,
starting with the front three.
right now it looks very good for. And again, like we always say, there's always someone or a couple people who will defy the odds.
Yep.
In that sense, where the majority of the field it may not work.
Well, it gets into, obviously, you look at, there's always going to be a tournament leader. There's always going to be somebody that has to be the number one qualifier. That's just how it works. And the fact of, we're looking at what Robert's had going on here. In front of us, 11 and 12 after coming off at 250. He also has the speed, the rev rate, right now is a little bit more.
He's got some attributes.
A little bit more of a calm environment, comparatively speaking, to the $1,000 match last night.
Oh, sure.
He was kind of chasing it back and forth. And again, folks, it doesn't matter how great you are, and I can give you a tidbit of, and Robert will tell you, the greats of the game, man, they still get nervous when they're on TV or when the stakes are high. I can remember, I'll never forget one of my first or second weeks as a tour rep with Storm. We're talking 2001. Pete Weber makes the show. Like, I can't find him. Like, it's getting showtime. It's almost practice time. I'm looking around. I'm like, man, where's Pete at? Somebody goes, hey, we need Pete down on the set. I'm like, I'm trying to find him. Go find him. He was sitting in the corner of the restaurant bar at the bowling center, just sitting there by himself. And I walk up to him. I go, bro, what are you doing? He goes, I just need a minute. I'm like, what? He goes, I'm nervous. I'm like, I'm 24. And I've known Pete a little bit over the years. And I'm like, what do you mean you're nervous? He goes, dude, I get nervous when I bowl. And I'm like, okay. Fast forward a couple years later, Norm Duke, start working with him a little bit before he becomes part of the Storm family. Same kind of deal. Norm's like, he's like, hey, I need you to tell me this. I need that. And I'm like, you're Norm Duke. He goes, I know that, but I still need these verbal confirmations and this pep talk because I get nervous. And I'm like, so what I'm saying, folks, is even the greats of the game, and like they always would tell me, if you're not nervous, you're in it for the wrong reasons. Like, you've got to have that desire and drive on the inside that is able to let you perform at the highest level. So anyway, that's just a little tidbit to throw your way. That caught me, like I said. And I'm going to look at these guys going, man, I've watched you guys bowl like since I was a kid. You guys, right? No, I get nervous. I'm like, okay.
For the top prize on a weekly basis.
Yep.
Major championships.
Yes, sir.
No, that's mad respect right there. That's a good nugget of info. Nice story. That should be on a T-shirt.
Nice story. Hashtag nice story.
I was going to actually say what I wanted to say, but then if I say it, then I can't claim it.
Oh, true
That's
story. Yeah, so you got to save it.
property.
Just put it, because you're working, we talked about this in your merch deal, so you just start dropping these, you gather your nuggets, and then you present the nuggets
It's
in your
easy to
platform.
make T-shirts these days.
Ah, well, man, you're telling me. This guy prints them all the time.
What's that?
Kyle King
T-shirts.
shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle King's got a nice one.
That
there.
one wearing it?
Nerves are a privilege. I like that.
Yes,
right, Team Agent On.
Absolutely. Nerves are a privilege, for sure.
That belongs to Kyle King.
Yep. No, it's. I've heard that one before, but yeah. So Robert Smith, again, he still hit the one in the front, but left an interesting leave there on lane 12. The ever popular 2-4-5-7. And the conversion. 6 spare. So as we're watching some highlights over here, I should say highlights, we're actually catching down on 3 and 4. Let's see who's up on, oh, it is Mr. Hare. He's got strike spare 4-bagger down there on 3 and 4.
You know what would be funny? Not
Yes, sir.
funny, but cool would be seeing hair versus hair.
Could very well happen. They're both good enough. I mean, they're
both-
great players in
yes,
their own right.
Absolutely.
Again, anything is possible in this type of format situation. Yeah, because Adrian had a great game here to
That's
start.
what I'm saying.
I mean, she's
I think I'd have to
obviously
pick Adrian.
it's a little bit different on this pair, but she's 7'10".
Yes,
so, but yeah, no, we're watching obviously transitions going to the next pair. Some folks had a decent first game, not quite as good here the second game. A couple doubles, a couple 3-baggers, but also backing them up with a couple splits. Looking all the way down to like 17, 18, 3-bagger split strike. No strikes in the right lane. 19 and 20. No strikes at all through 5 frames on that pair between the two bowlers. Robert gets the lucky over the top spin and tumble. And he's not going to argue that. He's going to take it because on the scoreboard it is an X. We went down to do a little recon. What you got shaking down there?
Yeah, I just wanted to get Justin's name, which now I know. And some unfortunate items on the first shot a couple times here, but I was just about to say he's about to make back-to-back spares.
David Leverage with 168 and 8th, strike up in the 9th. So feeling, him and I chatted. I've known Dave for a long time. Chatted before. He's like, man, he goes, man, they go kind of tough and hard. I go, yep. I said, as you know, being from this area, I said, he goes, yeah, going across this building is the thing you got to figure out. And I said, that is the fact. So Dave's won regionals. Good player. He's been around a long time, like I said. So, and he knew going in. He's like, hey, he goes, I want to come over and check it out this afternoon. He goes, looks tough, kind of the stuff I like. I'm like, all right, there you go, my man.
And he was just here.
Dave Leverage?
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay. Well, he's right over here now. I don't know. I think he started down further right. He's coming this way, I believe. Yeah, because he's on the left lane, so he's coming up. He's going our way. And I don't know if I'm just seeing it because I'm just watching a lot of bowls that are in the lane at the same time. I feel like some of those that have bowled some squads or bowled a sweeper last night maybe are moving in a little bit faster than they did previously. And I feel like some of the others who maybe have not as bowled as much are playing a little bit straighter to start. Kind of like what we saw from those, you know, I guess I'm saying is like they haven't, those that are new haven't bowled on the pattern to go, oh, hey, this is where I'm supposed to go. They're like, oh, I'm going to kind of, here's my little zone here to the right. But again, is it right or wrong? I don't know. It's hard to say. And you can't really go by what Robert Smith does because Robert Smith. You know, comparatively speaking to the rest of the masses. You know what I'm saying? It's that's one of those shots right there from Bobby that, again, he gets his hand, he gets a little too steep with it, gets his hand on top of it, doesn't quite roll it and catch it in the right spot, and 2-4-8-10.
Got Kevin Shusinski over there as well. See my man Felipe Espriu out there. I think he's on 13 and 14.
Okay.
Saw him at the Cactus Classic, maybe New Mexico Open, one or the other. He's around 13 and 14. He can play too. The game one scores are up, folks. I dropped that link in the Boldstream TV chat. It's also pinned up top the chat.
Okay.
Of course, Robert Smith's 258 led the way. Kyle Duster shot 248, as we talked about and you saw. Carson Opella and Eileen Linares, both with 219. Although each, excuse me, with a couple of sticks, so 226, 224 respectively. Adrian Hare with 223. Brian Hare with 216. Dylan Taylor 207. Brett Wolfshot 206. Speaking of Kevin, he's at 206 as well with a couple of sticks. Tim Simonis 201. And David Leverage 200 even. Alec Keplinger at 198. Several players, of course, in the 180s. All in all, wasn't really a bad game one as a whole, as a squad.
And we're watching game two unravel here. You can see over here, over on 15 and 16, Simonis has actually got 107 and a 6 with a 3-bagger. So he's got 220 left off the sheet. And exactly what we just talked about, you know, obviously Robert got a little steep, missed it, 2-4-8-10, and of course his next natural move is to hit it harder through the Face Creek Church. My man is like,
Yeah, that's tough.
It's tough to chew on, isn't it? Especially when you know that the opportunity's there and you just gotta do the right thing, because in the back of your mind going, why did I do that? It's not that hard.
And on this, and we've seen it.
It's over exaggerated. I mean, yeah, you get
every squad, right? But that one opportunity that you may not get that opportunity again. You may not be able to go back to back, 250, 240, or whatever it is.
Right.
Because of the difficulty. Good control right there, Kevin. Came back, just nice deep breath. On turn 2 into 3 right there. Carl, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if we talked about it, but I know Schlim and I did yesterday at some point. But the advent of having a few pins available. Did we talk about this yesterday with you?
No.
We did not. Okay, so the ability to, or your event has the addition of pins for those who are eligible.
Correct.
And it plays in a way of a slim kind of reference, like you go to some international events where certain players may get pins, et cetera, and so forth, but we're not talking 20 a game.
Correct.
You get 5 a game. What kind of went into the decision for you to kind of add that as part of your event?
I love scratch bowling, and there is obviously a lot of opportunities for that in regards to the PBA as an example. And then, growing up, bowling the mega bucks, like the high rollers, the mini eliminators, et cetera, the tap. There's so much, and then there's the people that are just right on the cusp. They're good. They might average, 2-0, 210, 2-team in league. But then when you put them on a pattern, it's going to be more difficult. I wanted to bridge that gap a little bit. But they are capable of bowling numbers. What I didn't want to do is give someone an opportunity that might get 20, 30 a game. Where you can just shut someone out by throwing 4 or 5 in a row. And then because the guys that average 2-team, 220 or better, their margin of error is so slim to be able to keep up with somebody that averages 180. The capability of a 180 average bowler to shoot 230 is so much greater than somebody averaging 230 to shoot 260.
Correct.
And I think
for sure.
that was one of the things that I just didn't want to have happen. The division thing is what I thought was the biggest thing for me, was instead of creating different divisions, there are tournaments that do that, and it's there, and I didn't want to do that because it's something that's already there, and it works for people for certain tournaments. I am in the belief of we give people a certain set of sticks based on age, performance, age and performance, and gender, like international, which is kind of where I got that idea from. But I did keep it in one division, and the reason I wanted to do that is because of ratios of classifications for certain bowlers. Let's just hypothetically say I had a women's cut. A lot of amazing women, but there's not as many. To guarantee, a certain division, to guarantee into the finals, is something I personally didn't want to do, because they don't make the overall participation of my tournament. I thought that, what I didn't want is, let's say someone shoots even for a certain division, because it's very minimal, the amount of entries that I have. They're guaranteed into my top 4 as an example, where I have the standard open area, where majority of my bowlers, say, get 150 entries in one and maybe only 20 in the other, with the same ratio. How do I explain that one bowler got in that only had maybe 10 bowlers, and then I only take out, it only shoots even, but then I have guys that are women that are in the open division, 100 over, outside looking in. But if I lump them all together and try to bridge that gap with just a minimal amount of sticks, to where everyone is still within range, you're not getting the 50, 60 pins of handicap per game, because that's a ginormous number. I think the cream rises to the top, and I think when the dust settles and we have that cut Saturday after Desperado and we know all the casters, I think all of them completely earned their way into making the finals. Not to say other tournament clubs with their divisions are wrong. I just wanted to get the best of the best, lump them all together, and when the dust settles, you all got there. It wasn't by handicap, it was by sex. Now, it's a buffer. There's a little bit of a window for handicap to kind of help you, push you along, to kind of bridge that gap a little bit. But, should a 130 average bowler bowl this tournament? Probably not. Because 7 pins is not going to help a 130 average bowler keep up with this competition. But with 7 pins on a 2-0 per game, you get 30, 30 plus. That might be enough to kind of clip you over. And that's kind of the premise of it.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's spot
Great
on.
explanation. Great thought process, really, realistically.
I think what you referenced there too, talking about patterns and, like you said, a league bowler and what the conversion is to a tougher pattern. That's the reason why there is the conversion charts now of, you bowl in a sport league, and which is tougher. That means your average technically should be this, or vice versa. Oh, you bowl in an easy league. Well, your sport league average would, if you average 2-0, your sport league average is going to be about 175. It's about a 25-pin swing. Right. And I can give you another little tidbit here, and obviously he's not here this week with us. Obviously, Pete having WD do some health stuff. Correct. But I can remember, Pete bowling in league, and not all tour players bowl in league, but people were like, Pete, whatever. I'm like, oh man, Pete, and you were there at St. Charles.
Oh yeah,
you remember probably the Monday night trio league.
Monday night.
I remember those leagues. Pete's like, hey, you need to come hang out. All right,
that was
hang
the
out.
league.
He's averaging to like 238 the one year, and he's like 12th in average.
Oh yeah,
in the center.
That
and
was
people
the
are
league,
like, wait, what? I go, yeah. Pete Weber, the guy who's got 5 U.S. Opens, is not even in the top 10 in average in league. And that stuff like that was the reason why Walter Ray and Norm didn't bowl league. They're like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll stick bowling tour stuff and occasionally regional. Walter obviously bowls a lot more, but so anyway, yeah. I mean, you look at the big difference of what you're putting in perspective as far as patterns, and obviously, like we've talked about, this pattern is not for the faint of heart. This pattern, exactly, Carl. I'm sure you heard it with Leverage. I mean, Leverage came up. He's like, man, he goes, they look hard. He goes, I kind of like hard. He goes, this is kind of a good thing. He's an old school guy. He grinds out. I mean, that's what we're looking at these pairs right here. Nobody shot 200 in that pair. Nobody shot 200 in that pair. There is 230 down there on 3 or 4. Down over here, we got 204, 170, 190. 210, 169, 153. You know what I'm saying? So it's in that window, and so those that are, like you said, on the cusp. And like I said, I drew the correlation to like we talked about the European thing, like when Liz Johnson or some of the girls who go bowl some of those tournaments, whether they're getting 5 or 7 a game. Yeah, even if they're a little bit easier, it still comes back to, are they gonna, and are they gonna throw as many strikes? As example, Sarah right here, is Sarah gonna throw as many strikes as, Robert Smith or, Anthony Simonson? Depending on what the pattern is, you're probably not. So having that extra hit a game, it's kind of what you look at.
Right.
Yeah, and I think, dude, it's spot on. I think it's, and like you said, that's what bowling tournaments are about. That's the variety is the spice of life, because you don't want, people don't bowl, I'm not going to bowl this because it's just like that tournament.
Right.
People look at this and go, ooh, that's different. Like, there's nothing like this around here, right, or in the country for that matter. So people go like, man, I got a legit shot at this. The fact that it's 10K on top, and man, I got a pop.
No, and I appreciate that. So I guess the best way to describe our tournament, it's a hybrid. It's something that I took a mix of a lot of different things that I liked, and like I said, tap the brains of yourself and other people.
Yeah, we had plenty of conversation, text and calls and whatever about it.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a brainchild of many, many nuggets, like I said, and we kind of I put it all together, and here we are. Good
nice
cover,
conversion
Mr. Leverage.
by Dave Leverage here in front of us, converting the washout. But yeah, no, it's spot on, and exactly what you said. The fact of this is the inaugural, and it's once it's all said and done, you step back, you look at it. Does there need to be a tweak or adjustment? Who knows? Who knows what the next day and a half unfolds? Is it perfect the way it is? It could very well be. And if it is, then you keep the same format for next year. But it's not to say that you may not. I mean, it's your tournament, so you can tweak it, adjust it, do whatever you want. And, I think that's part of having that open mindset of, hey, let's try this. This seems to be in a variety of eyes, and the people, like you said, the conversations and the backstories and stuff we had, it seems pretty legit. And at the end of the day, if we can make it better, sweet, we'll make it better. And that's the deal.
And one thing, all the tournament clubs around the valley plays such an integral part in helping me build this tournament. And I mean this from a grid standpoint is they let me hold arena spots through their tournament clubs. Because I look at it, are we in it for the creation and the better bowling? And if we are, then we all need to work together. You know, we don't try to, you know, I went out and asked as many people as I could, if I hold this tournament on these dates, does it conflict with any of your tournaments?
Correct.
I legitimately tried my best to make sure I didn't conflict with anybody else, because that is not my plan. I am not trying to step on anybody's toes. And because we're all going after the same participants.
Yep.
You know, and if we give more opportunities for bowling and for bowlers to have a choice, and instead of having to pick one over the other, these guys want to bowl.
Absolutely.
So if we can give everyone more opportunities, you know, I think it's a betterment for everybody. You know, I'm not in competition with anybody. I do not want to open a tournament club. This is not where my head is going. I want to hold an annual
and that was
event.
never, it was never your inclination of, I'm going to do this and I'm going to build my own tournament club and blah, blah. No.
Nope.
And like you said, you reached out to the others, and you know, you and I even talked about it's a deal of, you know, and now once this goes off and you've all kind of seen what's going on, maybe it's throughout the season for those other guys that are running those monthly events that there's a winning spot every week, or this is maybe a grand finals, if you will. There's so many possibilities moving forward that this could turn into something else, or a collective group thing. And yeah, I mean, that's what I love about you, and I think everybody here respects you, Carl, for that fact of, you know, at the end of the day, why did you start this? You love bowling, you want to give bowlers something to bowl, and you want people to enjoy it and to be proud of it.
Absolutely.
And you're absolutely proud of it, and that's all we can ask for in our sport now.
No, absolutely. And like I said yesterday, the turnout for the Sweeper was so humbling. You know,
Yeah, when you walked up to us last night and you're like, dude, I'm like, yeah, right? He goes, look at all these, you're like, look at all these people. I'm like, what do you think was going to happen?
When's the last time you've been like taken aback?
Last night.
Like you
Last
were,
night.
but like you were last night, like
Legitimately.
before last night.
oh man,
This one time at
you know,
band camp. Oh, no.
You know, different things in my life, obviously, but
Yeah.
you know, there's just certain milestones that you have in your life, whether it's family, you know, or triumphs, and, you know, careers or whatever. But like I said, this was something that I just made up. You know, and I don't mean that taken lightly. I mean, this was a lot of effort.
I was going to say, you
Yeah.
busted hump to
Yeah.
get to where you are, bro.
Yeah, I mean, so many people have helped, but you know, but at the end of the day, like I said, and there was a comment yesterday in the stream. Okay, I'll take a bite. What's an agent on? Right, and legitimately so.
Secret agent on.
No one knows.
Secret
Majority of people don't know who I
agent
am.
on. Right.
You know, and for all of these people, and that's why I don't take this lightly. That you know, whether they're right down the street or you know traveled near and far to bowl a tournament that has no history, that has no honestly name recognition by any means.
Correct.
You know, it was amazing to see, and like I said, truly humbling. And I'm not saying that to pull on heartstrings or anything, but legitimately just excited and thankful. And I can't say that more and enough to all the people that helped get us here. You know, it was definitely a monster team effort. And Chris, like I said, you were instrumental. Robert Smith, Greg Thompson. I mean, gosh, there's too many to name. Andrew Kane. This was, like I said, just it's awesome, and I'm looking forward to it. We're only halfway through.
I know, that's awesome.
You know, we got
that's
another
the more
squad
awesome part.
tonight, and we got 3 more tomorrow, and then we have an amazing finals on Sunday. So, just happy and
Well worth the
looking
price of
forward.
admission.
And it's free to come watch.
That's what I'm saying. It's free.
Yeah.
You can come if you're near the area. Obviously, I got a buddy in from out of town and some other folks that, you know, like, oh, hey, Shlomo's here. Hey, you're popping through. Again, just coming in to watch, because when you see this collection of bowler of all skill sets, I feel like I'm missing out on something. Sarah's got her phone doing videos. Emil's over here doing videos.
She sparked a thought in my head, because I'm sure she's grabbing B-roll for her YouTube channel.
Oh.
So she will probably create a video or videos about her Agent On Open experience.
And I'll take it.
And then I said, oh, yeah, you could get a couple shots for some YouTube shorts at some point.
Gotcha.
So
See,
yes.
that you guys are way more advanced than I am. And I'm like, why are you taking all these videos? Well, obviously, I didn't even think about B-roll stuff and piecing stuff together. Because I'm not a video guy. Sorry.
So
I'm just along for the ride.
So in fact, Jessica from Family Ties, she did reach out and ask me if I would be okay if some of their bowlers in their camp video. I go, absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
Why
as
not?
long as you're not standing on the approach. Like,
That's-
hey, would you just walk towards me and I'm just going to.
Right.
I know you're going to try and throw the 7th strike in a row, but
And
can I
that's-
just stand right here?
And that's what I had said. I said, as long as you're not in the way of Emil and what he's filming for Bowlstream, because that's first and foremost the true video content that I'm, searching for. If you're just shooting for
Pretty good pitch
your
right there.
YouTube channel or vlogging or whatever,
Did you say vlogging?
Vlogging, yeah.
I have no idea
Is
what
that
that
not
is.
video blogging?
Yeah.
Video.
I'm not a
blogging.
vlogger.
You
Instead
have
of
Brad and Kyle on
vlogging.
your staff.
I'm not vloggerific.
You work with Brad and Kyle.
I'm a rotogrip. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a storm side. They do what they do. I'm the rotogrip guy.
That's great.
I think
I'm
he's
not
just playing
I'm not
the
vlog.
fool.
I'm
I
not
don't
vlog.
believe he
I'm
doesn't
not
know.
vlog-tastic like you guys. I mean, did I watch the vlogs from the PBA League? Absolutely, I did, because the chaos that has ensued in Portland, Maine, a few weeks ago was super awesome to watch. I'm just giving you a hard time. I just want to be part of
What's
the
a
cool
vlog?
kids. That's all. You guys are vlog-tastic.
Are you guys familiar with Eileen Linares?
I am not, actually, but she came up with Adrian, I believe.
Yes, they live in Rio Rancho.
Rio Rancho,
Yes.
correct.
Yes, and so Eileen has been one of the top, I guess she's a couple years into college, but she was a top youth player in New Mexico, and obviously still is a very, very talented player. And I saw her at the New Mexico Open, and she actually hopped on the broadcast for a game, and she was thinking about what to bowl. This didn't come up it wasn't on her schedule yet, but I'm happy that she's here. And we were talking just briefly earlier, and like, she's like, she knows the pattern's difficult, she knows the pattern's hard, but she likes to play them pretty straight. And I feel like she has got her ball speed, and I'm just being specific to this lane condition, because I do think it is speed sensitive, especially depending on where you're trying to play. And she's got front six going right to left in an area of the lane that really hasn't been friendly for a lot of players. And this squad looks like, as a whole, a lot of the right-handers have elected to try to be a little further right. We've been talking about urethane in this squad. And although Eileen is not throwing urethane, she's definitely throwing reactive. But just kind of going to show maybe what could be out there potentially. And what how different squads could make a lane condition look completely different than another squad.
She's up on lane 12 right now.
Bang.
Just so pure off that hand.
Front seven.
She's making it look easy.
We haven't seen a lot of those. Might be
Have
the
we
first
had a
person
front
to have a
seven?
front seven.
I don't think we've had a front seven all.
We have a 300.
Let me ask you, have you seen a front seven yet?
Maybe. Sweeper? In the sweeper.
Jonesy?
Who?
Was it Jonesy that had front seven? Did
I
he have
think,
front
I
seven
think
this
during
year?
the sweeper. Maybe. Hold on, Ari. Always good to see my man Ari. I know he makes home on the West Coast and in Vegas, but he is originally from the Chicagoland area. Chi-town.
There's a lot more striking in this squad. Just overall. If you look left to right,
That's tough.
there's a good amount of striking going on right now. And I think, like I said, I'll stick with my number.
Well, for this reason. I mean, again, we've touched on it a couple times, just that I think I've learned, because I'm still like not great at predicting cut scores. I think that's just a science that a few people really have the ability to just nail them every time or be within 5 pins. I'm like 1 in a million. Like last night was my greatest achievement, being one off.
That was now.
Oh, Matt's.
You were so pulling that number out of left field to get there was crazy, because no squads yesterday, between squads 1 and 2, would ever think that you could tell me it'd be plus 101 for a 3-game block.
Right.
So for you to go out there and guess 102 over and be there, pretty good guess. And unfortunately, that string is over, and it's because we also brought Sham into this mix. He is truly the black cloud of strings. I've officially anointed him the black cloud of strings, because every time we bring it up to him and we talk about it, that string seems to unfortunately end immediately. Not 1 or 2 frames later, it's pretty immediate and abruptly.
Matt Jones is correct this morning.
Okay.
It was Ed Smack. That's right. It was on 9 and 10, actually. Front 7.
Okay.
That was the game. He shot 255, and Matthew Johnson shot 244.
Got it.
They owned 9 and 10. Good spare there for Eileen. All right, so game 2 scores, again updated. Robert Smith, 466 after 2. Brian Hare plus 52. Kyle Duster plus 33. Carson Opella plus 28. Eileen was at plus 18, and she's going to be adding to that total. David Leverage plus 16. Steve Sanderson plus 9. Adrian Hare is even. That's 8th. Kevin Trusinski at -6. Tim Simonis is -7. Dylan Taylor is -8. Good shot there from Sarah Klassen, the former Wichita State Shocker. She came out on tour for a brief moment, on a brief full-time basis, took a step back, and then came out and bowled some more stops. So I hope to see her again pretty soon. Another uberly talented young player. Great YouTube channel, too. Speaking of channels, definitely go subscribe if you have not to the Sarah Klassen channel. But she makes me think I might want to bowl on 11 and 12 next. After watching her, not only her, but Sarah and Ari.
Everyone's going to shoot deuce. It looks as of right now.
Ari can still get to 234.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think 11 and 12 might be a pair that. Oh wow.
Felipe Esprit did not expect that. He didn't see that coming. He just said it. There was and I could tell. I mean, and I thought it might be a washout as well. But his recovery on that shot, though, I was seeing that in squad 1, which is what made me think, if that's out there, you might see a few pins higher than, as again, plus 60 is our median, if you will. And then we didn't really see that for the next couple squads.
As soon as you think there's a trend going, it's gone. So You know, like I said, I took a guess at my number before the tournament started. So if I was initially would tell you that number today, I don't even think I'd take a guess. Just because as soon as you think it's going in one direction, something happens and it's blown away.
Jim Pratt next door. Our touring pro.
And that is somebody that's, you know, been off and on with injuries, and he hasn't bowled competitively, he said, in a little over a year. I did reach out to Kyle King that works with Jim, and I had asked, did you hear Jim was bowling? And he said, you know, due to injury, he wasn't going to be bowling. So when I walked into it, it was a pleasant surprise to see Jim out here bowling. So I'm glad he's feeling good, and he's out here throwing the rock.
Nice game.
Yep, 255.
Five in a row next door there for Jim. You see on the bottom right of your screen. Nice little viewing audience here this afternoon. Appreciate you tuning in as you enter. You know the deal, hit that thumbs up. We get these videos circulating. On behalf of Carl Long, certainly in Bowlstream TV. And if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to Bowlstream TV. Make sure you turn on the notifications. We still have, what, tonight? 3 squads, or essentially 4 tomorrow. 3.5, if you will, with the Desperado. 3 1/4.
3 1/4.
And the cashers round in the match play finals on Sunday. So you'll receive a notification each time we go live or have something scheduled.
Oh, 5-bagger with a 5 count. You still get to what, 230?
Yep. Looks like Jim's going to come over to 11 and 12, so we'll get a closer look at him in here in a minute. Ari going to be in the 230s, big double. He turns 2 into 3, and how about this 5-bagger from Felipe Espriu? Robert Smith trying to save 190. Big thanks to Theo Duthay of Complete Bowling Events. He is this weekend's tournament director. Appreciate his partnership with the Agent On Open, and I know those who bowled, the CBE members who bowled this tournament. This is a CBE major, and they get double points, so there are some incentives for CBE members as well, which is pretty cool. Espriu. Nice game by Ari Wilson, 234. Eileen again, 255. Sarah Klassen, 200 even. All right, Felipe gets to 208. Full screen next door. Bang. Maximum Bob. He's having himself a good block. 258, 208, 199. Those are the first 3 scores for Robert Smith. He is plus 65 for 3. Again, thanks to the Team Agent On, my home group. Looking for a property? Need a place to live? None better than Carl Long himself. Get you squared away. I won't say he can get you squared away somewhere other than Arizona. I'll let him tell you if he's licensed in multiple states, but he can get it done. We appreciate Carl.
No, I appreciate it. Working on Las Vegas, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually a very good. That's a good spot. Smart move on your part.
I appreciate it.
Especially
I
since
go
how
back
much
and
you go
forth.
there.
Yeah, I go back and forth a lot to Vegas. So, yeah. Gonna have my license here very shortly over there. And hopefully be traveling back and forth, helping with real estate needs. So.
Create Proof Print. That's another business that you're involved with, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My family and I have sponsored 3 different ways into this tournament. So Travel 24/7 is another one where I have a few agents that work with us and for any of your travel needs, and then the Create Proof Print with any printing and marketing. So, yeah.
Then we talked about and have been talking about Brightside Catering. And in fact, this morning, if you watched Squad 3, Jeff Krause was bowling, and he was working alongside Adam, Chef Adam, on Wednesday evening at the On Residence. Found out he was at working or handling the desserts that evening.
Yes.
And then so I talked to him afterwards. We were all kind of chatting it up a little bit after the squad, and turns out he's got a restaurant.
Yes,
here
right
locally,
down the street.
Down the street. It's called
Crepe Bar.
Yep, Crepe Bar.
Which is also another sponsor of our tournament today.
Okay. So Crepe Bar, shout out to my man Jeff, but Brightside Catering, Mark Powell, again, as just mentioned from Carl, Travel 24/7. And then my personal favorite, WeSpeakWifi.com, providing our internet connection and our bandwidth here inside Bowlero, Kyrene.
Yes, we could not have been live and on the air with any of you today without the great people at WeSpeakWifi.
Sweet.
So thank you.
So those are just 7, 8 of our main sponsors, but that's not all.
But wait, there's more.
I Am Bowling, Berg Brothers,
HVAC.
Ramsey Auto Center we talked about.
Yep.
Bowling Dynamics, as mentioned. Shout out to Dave Cipriano.
Angela Ziebert, so she does infant swim lessons.
Oh yeah, you. I'm talking about being taken aback.
Oh yeah.
Taken aback by that. I wish she was nearby.
Oh yeah, she actually does it amazing.
When my kids are born.
Yeah, they're off season right now. Obviously, now that the summer's winding down and gone. And then right now we have Unwind out here. So they're offering compression therapies out here, red light therapy out here. Big sponsor of us as well. They're actually in-house right now, so any chiropractic work that you need, they're actually here helping with sports injuries, before, during, and after the tournament. So in between squads, if you get a little kink somewhere, on your knees, your neck.
My neck.
Go give them a shout. Robin, their team is absolutely
They got like
amazing.
a table and stuff over there?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Right next to the registration.
Yeah,
booth.
no, I see where they're at. Yeah, definitely need to go have them. Because something that started in my neck probably about a week ago, and then obviously as many hotels as I've been in the last few months, I think it finally caught up to me. Because I went to the office the other day, and somebody was like, "Shlomi, okay?" And I did one of these deals. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Why? Because my neck was kind
Oh,
of
you had to churn everybody with it. Yep.
locking up. So it's hell to get old. Just letting you all know that, in case you're keeping score at home.
I think I'm older than the both of you. So
I'm just going to go ahead and say that, yes, you are.
thank you, Emil.
Mom.
Because I can guarantee that you're older than me, so I already know.
Hashtag facts.
Okay.
We're going to drop
So
facts.
there's a debate between Shem and I. Okay.
No,
To put you on the spot. Hold on. To put you on the spot real quick.
43.
Who looks older?
That's terrible.
Ooh, that's rough.
Who would say such a thing? You're not supposed to say those
And you
kind of
know
things.
he dyes his stuff. Look at this.
Yeah, do you see any gray hair in those roots? Huh? You see any gray up in them
So,
roots?
I know we're clowning
don't have
around right
kids.
now in between games real quick. So hold on.
That's great.
He does. So it's a false sense. So if you think he
how many
looks
pins
younger,
how many pins is Robert Smith getting? He looks like he's 72.
Well, I think Slim has said
with his man bun
has said a
himself.
couple of times how old he is
Hula
actually
bobs.
already, which I don't recall.
What's
But
that?
I feel like he was a little bit older than Andrew Kane, who turned 42 yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I turned 47 next month.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
He's older than me.
How about
perfect.
that?
See?
Let's
Makes
go.
See, make you feel better about
By a
yourself.
month.
So notice
I turned 47 in December.
Yeah, perfect. There you go. Make you feel better about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. My knees and my back feel like I'm 108.
I was going to say, yeah, we're
So we know about that. So yeah,
knees, ankles, hips, toes.
I'm falling apart.
Yep.
That's why I don't bowl anymore. I just watch
Oh,
the back.
Ari with the messenger swish in the 7.
coming off 234. See Martin Ho joining us on 11 and 12. Jim Pratt has made his way from 7 and 8 down to 11 and 12. Looks like we might see Dylan Taylor at some point soon. Actually, Dylan is going to be on 13 and 14. Alec Keplinger on 9 and 10. We had that rare kind of break in pace, really, because there are a lot of strikes honestly being thrown between like 5 and 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many 300s?
I mean,
Sorry, I was
300.
turning around talking. You said a lot of strikes. How many 300s?
We didn't
were
get
that?
there.
Oh, okay.
Eileen did have the front 7.
Will there be
Yeah.
a 300 in this tournament?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think we've only
That's a
seen the
good
front 7.
Let's
Like I
ask
said,
the
I know
audience.
there was last night. There was that. That's a good poll question. Like I said, I'm positive somebody had the front 7 like over this way last night in the sweeper.
What we did, Matt Jones reminded us it was Ed Smaglik this morning
In front 7, yes.
when he shot 250 on 9 and 10.
Yeah, but and also like I said, last night's vivid in my head. I forgot Smags even had it today. But
Any sponsor out there wants to
Ooh.
pony up for a 300 bonus for this tournament? What do you think?
That's a good question.
anyone bowls 300, I'll buy him a soda in the snack shop.
Courtesy of Mr. Schlem.
Redo Schlim.
Redo Schlem. How benevolent of you.
God love me.
Let's see.
Alex. Okay. A little tickle 2 action there.
300 will be very interesting to see
Yep.
if that's a thing today.
And-
or even this all weekend. Just
Yep.
curious.
And so, I don't know, we have, oh, he's just off the screen. Bobby here on 7 and 8. Again,
Mr. Caminelli?
it comes into like a unique form, but again, I've told people there's plenty of them that if you can repeat it is what it's about. I don't care what it looks like.
100%.
You know,
Absolutely.
because it was, I'll chime in. I've seen some other ones over the course of time.
Lichtenstein is the perfect example. Every
Lichty,
time
yep.
someone says it's how you just repeat shots. Doesn't matter how you get to the foul line. He has got to be. It always is top of mind to me every time. I can't think of a more unorthodox approach. But he always hits it pure at the end of the foul line. And can you guys think of anybody that has a more unique approach?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some over the course of time that had some waddles and weird drifts and, you know, like and obviously Litchie's was all just a timing thing to get it up and create that lag in a swing. Yeah, there's been plenty of them over time. So we just saw Brett Wolf come down, grab a different bag, and the reason that is because he just made a ball change in the 5th frame and finally got his first strike. So he takes that old ball, puts it in the spot where he just pulled out the new ball, and he kicks it under the table and says, "Thank you, please come again."
And on that same pair, we have someone.
High hopes.
Yep. Front, is that front 6?
5.
5.
Yep. Ari catches the crossover.
Ben Perry letting us know that
And missed the head pin right. So the cloud of Schlemm continues.
There it is.
Carl brought the notion. I agreed to it. Sorry, Hope, you had the front 5, and now you missed the head pin right and left the 1-2. So
You were batting 1,000, sir.
1,000. Dude, I'm hitting 1,010%.
Yeah, he's the
I'm way beyond 1,000.
he's the NLCS and ALCS MVP. That's how good he's been.
Of all leagues around the world, not just here domestically in MLB, any other league you can think of, I have got it.
You know, when you were away, I did anoint you as the black cloud of strings.
I'm the black cloud of strings.
It's all encompassing.
Why? Why does it gotta be strings?
Strings of strikes.
Strings of strikes. Sir.
Oh, I thought you were talking about string pins. See, that's how I get confused. I'm like, string pins?
No,
I'm
not
like,
yet, but I'm sure you will somehow.
I'm sure I'll have a way to cloud that too.
Garrett let us know, Ben let us know that Garrett trailed last night, had the front 6 sweeper on 17 and 18.
Okay, well, maybe that's what it was. I just remember down here to our right kind of thing. And obviously what I just mentioned with Mr. Brett Wolf, it was one of those deals where Brett's changed balls and caught the double. So he's obviously not out of this game yet, but yeah, it's one of those things of 3 or 4 frames. He's looking around going, man, this isn't the ball. And High Hopes catches the Brooklyn, so she's not going to be mad about that. Maybe she will be, but she shouldn't be. And Ari steps up to lane 7, crosses over again. Going to mix it up? Nope. Leaves the baby split at 310. So I think, Carl, it's like we've been talking. You got some folks that, yeah, we're catching some strings here and there, but there's plenty of folks scratching their head and trying to just figure it out.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. I don't know if you were part of the conversation. It's like every time you think there's a trend of scoring going,
Yep.
it abruptly can change
Wah, wah.
immediately. And then what was somebody 30, 40, 50 over ends up even after just game 5, game 6.
It's funny how it works, isn't it?
And everyone's back to the same drawing board again. And then,
Drawing board, craft table, paint station, whatever you're back to the same creative spot.
Matt Zweig brings up a point of thinking that the only chance of shooting 300 today is game 1. So tough to go to another pair and just have the same look while creating the necessary work.
Okay. Well, and honestly, I might have to agree to that because you get the few minutes to break them down how you want them,
Right?
and kind of create a shape. Yeah, because again, you go to the next pair, you don't know, obviously, whoever starts ahead of you on that pair or what the intangibles are from that pair, whether it is surface friction, lane install, I mean, any other things, carry. Yeah, so
I think Emil's got some update scores for us.
Yes, we do.
Oh, look at this. Eileen.
Linares. She's 63 over scratch, 78 over total. Robert Smith, 65 over. Carson Opella plus 53. Brian Hare plus 47. Alec Kepliger plus 18. Dylan Taylor plus 17. That's 6th. Kyle Duster, 7th, or plus 16. Adrian Hare plus 9. She's 8th. Brett Wolf plus 8. He's 8th. Tim Simonis is 10th at plus 5. There are 10 players plus through 3 games in this squad. And I don't know if it just feels like a record so far.
Yes, it is definitely sounding softer for the moment. For the moment. Like, we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Again, folks, tournamentbowl.com. Click the link up top, the chat. It'll get you where you need to get to. You can also check the scores from all previous squads. I am reading the scores only from this squad, but of course you can check out what the current standings are with all players who have bowled and competed to this point as well. And but speaking of that, Dave Sirigliano was the leader for a few squads.
And could very well be by the end of this one.
Yeah, he's 90 over, plus 90. It's his total. We watched Zach Schroeder. I think he bowled squad 1. He was bowling and throwing it very well, plus 69. I think that number stands. Definitely Dave Sirigliano stands, in my opinion. I think Wesley Lowe, if I keep my thought process of the cut number being in the 70s, then Wes might have to bowl again. But I think on the surface, plus 51 looks like a really good number. Then we got a couple of plus 20s from Justin Sims and Kyle King, plus 28 and plus 20 respectively. Bob Wiley at plus 12, Keith Dahmer plus 7. Chris Mays at plus 4. Aaron Yamamoto is plus 5. Kyle Abbas even. Speaking of Ed, who had the front 7 this morning, Ed Smaglin, if he could have bypassed that 147 game, he finished 32 under. And
so he could have been plus a little if even if he shoots 190 2-0.
Yeah, and let's say he gets to 2-0 the last game, and there was a possibility he was going to try to get here to bowl again tomorrow. And that could have been a real situation of, okay, if I don't actually have time tomorrow, I might have enough score where I'll be okay. Staying away from the bad game. Eileen went down to 15 and 16. Looks like see a different ball in their hands late in the 9th frame.
And so she actually switched early in that game, and that's how she caught that 3-bagger there. But then the last 2 shots have hung out a little bit, and so she's got now she's got a washout. But same thing, leaked it a little right and left a washout, or left the rail before picked it. Let's see if she converts this. Oh, almost gave it a run, nudged it. So yeah, she's got 182 hole there in the 9th. So she's still got, she's looking at 2-0, but potentially 212. One thing I wanted to bring up with the deal of, we were talking about counts and how tricky they can be. We talked about Brett Wolf over here and change balls. My man then proceeded to go 3-bagger, 4 spare strike. We've seen plenty of 3 spares already halfway through, and now a 4 spare added. Seen a couple 5 spares. So yeah, some low counts that turn into spare conversions. So that's how easy it is to, if you miss one way or the other, the ball can go that direction.
3 off a side is not uncommon.
Nope. Not at all. And even on 4.
2 days.
And even 4. It was easily 3, but he happened to catch another pin on the way out.
3 counts are a thing. Because at one point, during one game, 272 was a number to get to, remember?
Yep.
Didn't they go?
Oh, yeah.
5-bagger, 2 spare?
Yes, that was, we were talking about Tim Simonis who did that.
Yes.
He didn't get to 272, though.
No, he did not.
He looked 4-9 late.
So I'll give you guys another little tidbit here. Hope Gramley's on that same pair. Hope started with the front 5, goes 8 spare strikes. So she's pacing 270 through 7 and turned that into 210.
Yep.
9 out, 8 spare, 6-2. 210 when you're looking at 270 through 6. Actually, through 270 through 7. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, it's just that easy to do that it kind of gets in the way. And we've been talking about Robert Smith and just glancing on there. My man doesn't have a double yet on 3 and 4. 85 in the 5th, strike up in the 6th. So a lot of work yet to do for Robert down on that pair. And the other guys on this pair doesn't look like they're having fun either. So,
a lot of it's pair sensitive.
Absolutely.
The photography is so different, potentially pair to pair.
Jim Pratt.
With a double.
No thumb plastic ball guy.
You're not crippled, sir. But it's good to see Jim back, though.
Yeah, it's good. You know, he's got, obviously you can see he's got the big knee brace on. He's in the spot talking to Kyle King and obviously then actually getting to talk to Jim because Kyle actually works for him. It's one of those deals of, yeah, he's getting in the spot where he needs a knee replacement. And all those years of planting, you know, the no thumb. I can remember back in the early 2000s when he came out on tour. I made a couple shows throwing plastic balls off the lip. The one year in Indianapolis, a man had that Eagle plastic ball from Global working off the 1-2 board.
Just bang all
Yep.
day.
Yep. Speaking of bang, Robert Smith, bang, 9-pin.
Already starting to feel it a little bit here.
Yep. And where's he at after a couple here?
He is 13th at minus 17.
Okay.
On this squad. 178, 171, 234.
Gotcha.
So he's about to hopefully get a chance.
I was going to say, are you going to take the role as the cloud?
He's got a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Get into the 240s with 2 more in the 10th frame.
There you have it. There you are. And so talking about that pair, like I said, Hope turned that into 210. Brett actually ended up punching out after the forest pair, so got the 220 with the ball change when he came down here.
Yeah.
And their other crossing compadre had 202. So 3 200 games on that pair, which is not something we're seeing a lot of so far through a day and a half, and you know, even the squad right now.
Sarah Klassen was trying to take advantage of a couple of breaks she'd earned. And unfortunately missed the head pin right there. Wash out. So you watch it on 7 and 8. Alec Hedlinger next door for doubling the frames 8 and 9. And there he is there, right of your screen. Oh.
Pretty good pitch right there.
So Steve Sanderson was going to give us a highlight there. That's a tough break there for Sarah Klassen. And there's a good example, too, of what we've seen a lot of, right? When you're trying to figure it out, you're close. You catch that double late, get a couple of breaks, and then they open in the 10.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. And that's not going to help Jim Pratt's knee. Caught him almost at the point of release, so he reeled her back in. He's got a chance to catch this hit right here and get to 2-0.
Shot again from Ari. That's 4 in a row. He's in the 230s. It's going to be back-to-back 230 games at minimum for Ari Wilson. Oh. 4. The old S4. Kep. Oh, he threw it pretty good that game for 190.
Yeah, but and again, like we talked about, but like we've said, you know, you've got to take those games, and you know, like you said, I can't throw it any better than that. But you know, 190 is good. You know, it's just so you get to the next pair and hope that you catch that 220, 230 game. Bobby's actually still got 2-team. All I had to do was say it. Had 2-team. The man misses the headpin right. All right, way to go, Schlem. Stay hot.
Folks, if you are just joining us, we are at the end of game 4, squad 4. And just to, I'm going to have Shalem confirm it for you just to make sure I'm not tripping. But this is by far the highest scoring squad.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Not only that, but the squad, it feels like the majority of the squad has an idea of what's going on.
Yes. Yeah, whether it's because they've actually bowled a squad already, or they've watched some, or they came to bowl the sweeper last night. Because obviously we got some. This is their first squad. And they bowled the the sweeper last night. So, yeah, I mean it's. And again, we figured out, and I think you and Carl maybe mentioned it. It's the fact that we kind of figured that was going to happen a little bit once the. Everybody kind of nestles in, if you will, and kind of gets a little bit better bearings about what's happening and how the lanes are transitioning. Again, it's still the roller coaster going pair to pair because we're looking down there off of 3 and 4. Robert Smith's going to have to catch a double here in the 10th to get the 2-0. Otherwise, he's looking at 180. 5 and 6, nobody's getting a 200 there. 7 and 8, we have 2 200s. 9 and 10, 190. Again, no 200s. No 200s over here on 13 and 14. You know what I'm saying? So it's that roller coaster like we've been seeing. It's like every other game, or It's like Bobby's rocking the Shirley Temple here, coming back with the score sheet. Oh, man's. Again, a great bowler, wins a lot of stuff in California. I've seen him. I met him years ago as he started coming, or I guess to TATs and other stuff like that. And again, once you see the unique style, you'll be like, how does he do that? And he wins stuff, and yeah, my man averages like 240 something in league too. Like he's upset when he goes, I only shot 710 this week. Oh, check that off.
And so we were talking about with Bobby, we were talking about repeatability, and in bowling, right? No matter what you do, if you can repeat it consistently, it's all good. Because at some point prior to release, you get to the same point or a similar point as some of the best in the world, right? Because that's just how bowling works in that sense. Whether it's release, your 4-step ends up being in the exact same spot as some cool bowler that you had no idea. Anyway, the point being, look at Bobby Campanelli. And then for those of you who know Dylan Taylor, also a very unique player. You guys talking about Larry. I assume you're talking about Larry Lichtenstein or Mike.
Mikey. Yeah, Mikey Litchie, the young one. Yeah, the lefty
Mike,
with
yes.
the
Right.
the big, long, weird stutter steps. Yep, there you go.
Got it.
Yeah, see,
I
you
remember
know what we're
now,
talking
yes.
about. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the other.
Dylan's not to that point, but Dylan is unique in that sense as well. And but again, repeat, and you got yourself a chance.
Exactly. Let me see if I can find it.
My man Shaking Shark says your scores are definitely higher. Definitely higher right now, so guys are starting to figure things out. Problem comes when you have to change that theory on the move, and there isn't much give without losing the pot. Yeah. Game 5 is upon us. In case you Haven't seen it. We'll talk about some of these details of the lane condition here. We don't have a graph. Graph was not released, but the main details were. Again, 42 feet, 34.5 mils. 1.67 to 1 ratio on the left, 1.83 ratio on the right.
Yeah, and again, like we talked about, and like Carl mentioned, you know, every aspect of this event, from the couple pins for the levels of players to the pattern playing. You know, the pattern is playable, but like we've talked about numerous times here. It's not impossible, and they're not China either, you know?
Mm-hmm. Again, there are the deets. And there's Hope Gramley.
I hope. Oh, gets the 5 out.
Come
Going
on,
to 10?
maybe.
Nope. Excuse me.
Tim Cagle the second. Trying to remember Tim right now.
Bear with me here. I'm looking for another. See if I can find this, and obviously it'd be one of those drawn a blank. Like I said, there's been some other unique styles that are repeatable over the years. Brett moved way in.
Wow. Oh, same result.
I'm not bowling on that lane. That lane. I'm not bowling on that lane.
Take care of yourself. Yeah. This is the one I was thinking of. The other Matt Jones. Have you seen that one before?
Push?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I can remember the first time I saw that kid at Junior Gold,
California.
they're like, hey, you need to come watch Matt Bowl. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And they're like, oh, this Matt Jones kid's from California, da-da-da. I'm like, okay. Like, no, seriously. And so, like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go with you. I never remember watching his first shot, and I go, like, what do you think? And I go, I was, like, speechless. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they hit me with I watched him throw a couple shots, and my man threw, I don't know, like a 4 or 5 bagger. And they go, yeah, he averages like 240 back home. And he was like, at the time he was like 15 or 16 years old. And I'm like, wow, okay. And again, it's one of those things, like I've told people over the years, you know, yeah, I've been fortunate enough to work and coach with the best players on the planet, but I would never teach anybody to throw it like Walter Ray. You know, I'm not going to teach anybody to throw it like, obviously, Matt Jones from California, or even like Bobby here. But again, if that's your skill set and you can repeat it, okay, so we work around what you can do and we get it to where you can repeat it. That's the goal. I thought we were going to see 3 7-10s in a row on that left on the lane 11. Yeah, it was coming, right?
That's what Bobby said. He almost said, all right, guys, let's head out.
He's like, yeah, no, that's cool. I'm good, bro.
We're going to start over.
I'm good.
What's up, Juan? Juan just got out of classes.
What's that?
Juan just got out of classes down the street at Grand Canyon University.
Okay.
We're doing well, Juan. This is squad 2 of the day. Appreciate you getting out of class and popping up Bullstream TV.
Hopefully you'll learn something today. That's the reason why you go to classes, to learn something.
Well, let's ask Juan. Juan, what did you learn today? Juan, what did you learn today? What classes did you take?
Hopefully something fun. What class did you take? My favorite classes were, let's see, study hall and lunch. I know you guys find that hard to believe when looking at my my stature and my physique, but yeah, I was a big fan of lunch and study hall. Hope with the 3-4.
Oh my.
7-9. Often imitated, never duplicated.
Dylan Taylor is kind of the king of leave of the day. He's actually bowling on 9 and 10. All government.
I'm trying to remember if the last time I've seen that. A 3-4-7-9?
Oh, she's gonna make this.
Think so?
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that
PWBA,
spare. Look at it.
Rookie of the Year. The look on her face says that she's unimpressed with that shot. I'm just going to go on a really big limb there because obviously I'm not a small guy, so I need a really big limb to support me. But anyway, you missed it whenever you had to duck out there for a second. I said, my favorite classes in school was study hall and lunch. So those are the 2 classes I was really good at.
Lunch and what?
Study hall. I was good at both those classes. Although I did graduate with honors. By the time my high school career was over, I was one of those guys that got to a 4.0, but anyway, lunch was still my favorite.
Well, things you don't see every day.
Brett Wolf getting 3?
Correct.
Because he got 4 the last game. Because remember, he changed balls. He went 3-bagger, 4-spare sheet to get to 220. And now, and I don't know if it's maybe making a move because he's 7-10 on that lane, or it's in his head, and then, yeah, it just turned into 3 off the left.
All right, I'll end our poll. Will someone shoot 300 at the Agent Ong Open? We'll end it with 30 minutes, or after 30 minutes of being live. 61 votes. 64% say no. 36% say yes.
What about the maybe? Where's that category?
Maybe it's a +5 margin or so,
Hashtag anything's possible. Oh, up, off the bounce, out of the G. We'll have to get a score correction on that.
Yeah. So both of our lefties here are taking 3 off the left. Lane 9 and lane 11. Brett Wolf just made his. Mr. Johnson.
And he also was quick to let us know that he is 2 for 2 on his 3 off the left, which means he's not counting the 4 off the left. So that means these two.
Well,
Hey man, you taking notes off me? He goes, I'm pretty good at that 3 off the left thing. I can pick it.
Raymond Johnson did his thing as well. Good shot there.
Pretty good shot.
All right, so let's do the old refresh here, folks. I got some information for you. And Steph, I saw your question regarding the lane pattern. I believe the lane condition will be released after the tournament has been complete.
Maybe. Not if we burn the graph. We just know the actual numbers and it just disappears. No, I believe that is the strategy Carl had, is sharing that after the fact. But still, giving bowlers a general idea of, the 42 feet plus the 35 mils. Give them a general idea of what is sort of kind of out there.
All right, so I have been given the overall cut number through 3 full squads and the first 4 games of squad 4 here. Schlim, what do you think that number is?
Well, run that by me one more time. What was
All right, so I've been given,
it? Yeah.
and this is for you two current viewers,
Yeah.
I have been given the overall cut number. The overall cut number through 3 full squads and 4 games of this squad here.
Okay. Who's making this prediction?
It's not a prediction.
Oh,
It's the number as it is, as it stands right now.
as it stands right now.
Of all the players who have competed.
Okay.
Again, through 4 games right now.
Yep.
Or today, I should say.
Yep.
And our squad earlier, our 2 squads yesterday, what do you think that number is?
19 over.
Okay. Steph Cell says plus 12. I'll let it simmer for a couple minutes, see if anyone wants to give it another guess.
Are we getting a poll on that too?
I wanted to,
No?
Yes, I wanted to, but I need more options to kind of throw out there.
How did you get this info? Did you get a little birdie tell you that I didn't see?
I did have a little birdie.
Little birdie just popped up out of nowhere?
Yep.
Like Bowlero, we got bird cages in here? What's going on?
Better than the squirrel biting your internet connection outside, I can tell you that.
Okay. I hear you.
I can say through the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guesses that I've seen so far via the chat, one person is actually correct.
Hope is happy she didn't split in the left lane and now catches a double. So that was her happy, sarcastic, woo.
Come on, hook, Dylan.
Oop. That's
Ooh.
all right, though. I mean,
Some folks are really
it's fine.
close.
So I guess the question is, or do you want to not give it away in the fact of, off of my guess, higher or lower?
That's fine. And it will be lower.
Well, okay. So in case you joined us late, sorry you didn't get to hear my number. If you were listening, you know what my number was, and you now know that it would be low.
I give it one more minute, and then we'll get into the standings. They are updated through 4 games. A couple of pairs with 2 here, starting to see one on 7 and 8. Well, after that 3 spare, Raymond has turned that into a 3-bagger. Hope Gramley.
Just kind of looking around, taking it all in here, folks. That is a...
All right, so we give all the credit to William, who correctly guessed +8.
Boom.
He was first to do it.
Bada boom. Realest guy in the room. I like it.
Congrats, William. You will win some forthcoming swag in the future. Back to the future. There's a DeLorean that you will need to be a part of.
You see, you can't be dropping all your tidbits on those cool merch you're going to, and stuff you're going to create. You know, you got to keep these.
In the
you know, 'cause
DeLorean?
anybody can, like you said, copy or You know what I'm saying? Like you got to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
your special stuff for yourself.
I won't be in the DeLorean.
No,
Yeah, but we could be.
but it could be. I'm saying you could use a DeLorean and
Super random.
Yeah.
And I'm about to read the standings. Someone mentioned, no, I read a story recently that someone found, or in someone's garage, auction, something. There was an original DeLorean, forgot the year, maybe 81, with 1,000 miles on it.
Really?
Yes.
And nobody knew it existed, or
I
just
don't
kind of
remember
been,
that part, but
wow, in a garage or a
someone
barn or
stumbled upon
something.
it. Yeah. Oh, there's a good break.
Hey-o. Hitting here in Game 5, and so the you can call it frustration. I think some of the maybe not what you expected. Look at that, carrying the Wally.
Let's go, Dylan Taylor.
Good guy. He's got a little something working there.
Winner of the New Mexico Open 2021.
Okay. And I was going to mention down there on 3 and 4, Ari actually, so he split and then he went, what, 5-bagger? A spare, and then chopped the 1, 2, 4, but strike up in the night. So he's still got 230 left. Brett Wolf with a pretty good pitch there. Lane 11. Well, like I said, no, it's some of the sarcastic cheers, jeers, yay me, look at me throw a strike. Because I've just opened 4 times in 7 frames. And again, it's just bowlers being bowlers and just being frustrated. And again, when you get to patterns like this that are demanding, that are grueling, they will make you talk to yourself. Some keep it inside, some actually talk to themselves outside. So, meaning that their outside voice as they're just walking around, just talking, you're like, well, there's nobody with them. They're just talking to themselves. That is definitely a thing. So,
Eileen Linares is still your leader at
right.
plus 85. So at that number, you would essentially say she's 2 games away from, being one and done. You go 80 over, you don't really need to bowl anymore. I don't. It would have to be real drastic. Something to change like that. Brian Hare plus 68. Robert Smith plus 55. Tim Simonis plus 51. Kyle Duster plus 40. Speaking of Tim, he's down on 5 and 6. Clean, working on a double. There he is, bottom left of your screen, or bottom right, I beg your pardon.
all right.
And of course, and we say good things about people, and we cloud them. I'm sorry, Jess. But Tim
For
is,
the record,
Tim is plus 51.
I did not say anything right there. Okay.
You did it.
And now it could be that I have a headset on and that's what caused it?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible too.
I told you, I described the movie to you yesterday, Fallen, where the spirit goes
The spirit just floats back and
I
forth.
keep telling you. Kyle Duster plus 40. Adrian Hare plus 33. Brett Wolf plus 28. And Brett is currently 7th. Ari Wilson 8th at plus 16. There's a tie for 9th. I'll get on this squad with Carson Opella and Alec Keplinger at plus 8. 10 players are plus. And those 10 players obviously have directly affected the overall cut number.
Right.
Good spare. Nice job, Tim. He remains clean now through 7 frames. Ari did get the first one on the 10th. He can strike one more time for 3 consecutive 230 games. Ari's ball will appear bottom right of your screen. Just to the left of Tim Simonis. There's Ari. There's his equipment. And through the nose. 3-6-10.
My guy.
Dylan Taylor.
Dilly dilly. Yeah, just like the commercial. Nice.
I have to ask Dylan, I was at B3. I feel like Dylan may have made some recent fit changes.
Okay.
And perhaps maybe even have dropped down in ball weight as well.
All right. Already had 220 down there, so.
Hook. Harlan Brown and Arno struggling just a little bit here. 7 and 8, Alec Keplinger. So on 5 and 6 with Tim Simonis. And Kep's got a chance to put up a solid number here with a game left. Final squad on the night, folks, will be at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Local time. That's 10 p.m. Eastern. Yes, I'm sorry, Jess. And shout out to Valley Tour Golf Club for laughing at that, because it was meant to be funny. I don't know if Kep has been throwing urethane this entire game over there on 5 and 6, because he was throwing something that was at least reaction. I'm not sure exactly what. It did look like a roller grip ball earlier on 5 or 9 and 10.
Yep. That's pitch black right there.
But he was definitely just throwing a pitch black. Well, some really good scores. 238 from Dylan Taylor. Mr. Johnson here could be in the 240s.
Yep. He's throwing a Hustle USA.
On cue, Tim Simonis knocks him down. As does Bobby.
Looking at 230. So. Oh, sneaky. Take it. Take it. Bobby putting 236 on the board there, so it's going to help his cause. And all right.
Oh, that one got away from Tim there. That was the first shot in the 10th frame.
248 points.
So maybe 9 and 10 is every other frame or every other game.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Maybe. Boy, that's a nice spare there from Marlon. Three nines, 2 8s, 3-9 for a righty. I always find that spare to be kind of difficult. The spare for Tim. So strike to get him to 215. And for Tim, that would move him to plus 66. Now, Slim.
Yes.
Let me throw this at you here.
Twice on Thursdays.
So we missed a day.
Oh.
You know, you've been on, you've worked on tour.
Yep.
I worked on a tour. We just do it in 2 different ways, right? Capacities. But I feel in this scenario where you've got a higher scoring squad and that information, I thought we almost had that full break there, Tim. That information, right, where if there's success, it starts to kind of filter its way, to other players. And so that next squad that's coming, in a tour case, it would be the same groups of players, generally speaking. They'd just be bowling in the afternoon, and they'd know that additional info and, might change something or do something a little different earlier to produce or try to repeat whatever it is they had success with. You think that might also happen here? Is you have folks watching the live stream. We've got people obviously who know one another. People are here watching and say, hey, well, this squad was the highest scoring squad. What they do? Will that information potentially make its way or filter its way through some of the other competitors?
Absolutely will. Because, like you said, we've got plenty of folks watching at home. We live in a world that's connected. So between text messages and videos and, hey, I was just watching this, I saw this on this pair or that on that pair, or so-and-so's doing this, give this a look. Because that's the world we live in. It's a world of, we're connected on so many levels. But yeah, even the folks just here in the building and those that are actually bowling, in the fact of what they're learning as they compete, to gather enough information to go, okay, now I got a better idea coming into the next round to bowl another squad, to try and figure it out maybe even a little bit more. Because, again, it's as we've been saying, the big thing is crossing this bowling center. And it's the pair-to-pair. So it's being able to, you can, kind of like when we were talking, Josh, whenever he got done this morning. You were putting on your all-tournament team, because we're in with 35 clean.
My man.
And, exactly like you said, I'm probably going to bowl. It's the fact of, and he catches 2 more hits or 3 more hits in that set, and he's comfortably in this spot. And you got to think that some of the folks that came out of the gate gangbusters this afternoon, that obviously then when they make the move to the next pair, maybe got caught off guard, maybe just didn't see it fast enough. They're definitely going to re-enter. And it could be one of those things that maybe they've been watching, they're seeing what's going on, and they come back and think, man, this next squad, I'm going to change the surface on this ball because I know this ball I have maybe in the car or in my bag that I didn't have the surface right on to start this set will be in play. It's just learning. I mean, that's what it's about, especially when you have an event like this. And, to try and compare it to what happens on the tour is, like you said, it'd be the same group of bowlers, depending on what era and what level. I mean, and the fact that they don't have time usually now to drill between squads. But there was a time when where everybody, especially like the exempt tour days for the guys or the girls when there was less bowlers, you finish the squad and go, man, this ball was close, I'm going to go drill another ball. It's like you only get 1 ball to drill between blocks. And some it would be, maybe it's the same ball, maybe it's a different ball. Again, and there's always different things. And then obviously now that the tours have gotten the window's shorter, there's no break, so you can't drill balls between squads. So, you kind of have to figure out what you have in the bag and figure out how to make it work. And, I have a funny story with that. There was, I actually told this story a couple weeks ago. I want to say we were in Ohio or something years ago or somewhere. And Chuck Gardner was the rep for Brunswick at the time. And, practice session went okay. It might have like West Coast, I don't remember. But anyway, practice went okay. Well, the guys come out the next morning. Man, you would have. And it was like, I can't remember. It was one of the higher scoring patterns, like Viper or something like that. And, man, you would have thought the entire field didn't know how to bowl. Like, we got towards the end of the first block, and Kirk Von Kruger comes up and grabs me and Chuck. He's like, hey, I need to talk to you guys. We're like, what do we do? Like, what? Kirk comes in, he goes, I need you guys to be honest with me. Did you see anything different this squad? Like, practice, they didn't look this tough. We're like, Me and Chuck look at each other like, no, they're good. They're like, why the scoring pace so bad? I'm like, me and Chuck look at each other, we're like, these guys all just kind of went their own way. Like normally on tour, like they would break a pattern down together or somewhat. You got guys that play straight and guys that are a little left of it. And you have those migrations. It was one of those deals where everybody kind of just zigzagged. And me and Chuck looked at each other and we're like, these guys brought it upon themselves. And Kirk's like, okay, so lane machine didn't break, nothing. I'm like, nope, everything's good. And so we get done, and Chuck and I both have conversations with our staffs. Obviously I got the Storm Rotor Grip guys and whoever else, and then he's got all the Brunswick guys. And we get done, and Chuck goes, well, how'd you guys take it? And I go, he goes, anybody? I go, man, I just went to a couple guys. I'm like, man, did you forget how to bowl? Like between practice session and this morning? So anyway, fast forward, come back the night shift. The entire field averaged 30 pins higher. The entire field. Kirk goes, well, I know the pattern's the same. We ran the tapes. I go, that's what I said, Kirk. It was nothing you guys did. It was just the guys got caught up in what they thought they had to do or could or couldn't do, and it dictated the entire field. But again, you got the best bowlers on the planet, and something as little as that, like I said, nobody drilled balls. It was just surface adjustments, plans of attack, and he goes, well, that's what you're expecting the first squad, but it just didn't happen that way. I go, yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. So there's stuff like that, and like I said, it's just random stories over time that especially when you see events like this, and you see, in essence, like if you know you're crossing with someone, if you're in the same zone, it's one of those deals that if you're on the left lane going left and you got a crossing partner, it'd be one of those deals of, oh hey, let's maybe kind of work together and see because me and you we're buddies now for the next 6 games.
Right.
But again, I think something like this is not always the case because maybe some of these bowlers don't know each other. I mean, obviously, it feels like a lot of them do, whether they're from this area or they've bowled enough events that they're acquaintances or whatnot. But yeah, I think that's what we said in the fact that we'll see the pattern, the flow, and the scoring pace maybe inch up a little bit as we move forward here. We got Captain Carl back in the booth with us.
Hello.
Flipped his flip back on and ready to rock. So they're watching the start of Game 6 here in front of us. Well, Hope over here on 7 and 8, she went 9 spare, gutter, spare. So, all right, so she got that there figured out. Spares are us. We're going to see who else can piece maybe something together here this last game. Is that, I'll say. Oh, look at Eileen. Where's she got to be at? Is she down the other end still?
I feel like she started down here.
Yeah. So she means she's probably
She might be on the impair.
on the end
High end.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she.
Meaning we should see scores here in momentarily.
Yeah.
We'll see what's shaking after Game 5. So we're a couple frames into 6 now. And one thing to make note of is we talked about, we mentioned Jim Pratt, and I mentioned him. He actually had the WD. And like exactly what I said, his knee is bad. And Carl actually, he came back. He's like, hey, I can't bowl. I can feel the swelling. And he took his knee brace off, and his knee, I watched it kind of start to expand. I'm like, ooh, that can't be good. And
No,
he's in a spot to where I guess he needs a knee replacement. It's
Yeah, and that's why
So-
I left the booth to go get him some ice.
Yeah.
I wanted to make
he
sure
was,
that he was good.
He was trying to bowl, and he was just like, man, he goes, I just can't do it. So, anyway, so we lost one there. But yeah, things are rock and rolling as we move along here in the afternoon squad at the first annual Agent On Open. Roto Schlem chilling here with Captain Carl Ong, the host of this, and the man behind the plan of the broadcast systems here with Bowl Stream. Emil Williams Jr. You're so awesome. You're so awesome. You know that? You were panicking. You're like, what blew up? What? Just talking.
Yeah, you know, when I heard technical systems, and I'm
He's like,
is the
what,
internet working?
He's like, what? I have to go to the Guitar Center again? Do I have to go? I have to buy?
Man, I'm telling you, like, I'm just wired that way now in this business to where
Absolutely, I get you.
there are certain words that trigger me.
You're like, what? Oh,
Like, what? Who?
Man, that was
Slim Shady?
I understand that was a safe word right there. Okay, got you. My bad.
I have an update for the cut score after 5 games. Any guesses?
We just played this game, so now I've got to guess. It's not fun when you got to do it.
He made me guess before.
Well,
So I guess you know this, but is it updated for the fans at home to know, or those watching?
That could be on there maybe, but I did get a text from Theo just now to get me as much of a live update as possible.
I don't think it is actually, because you'd have to sift through Tournament Bowl because the scores are updating in real time.
Yeah.
And the overall, but you'd have to then go through, look at the numbers. Everyone's through, or this squad's through 5, everyone else is 6, so you got to do a little bit of work.
Okay.
You could do it, but you got to do a little bit of work.
Yeah.
We
That
haven't-
sounds
we
like a
haven't
lot of work.
projected
Right,
cut
okay.
score, obviously.
I'm going to go with, because nothing about that game says the cut went down. So I'm going to say plus 17.
Schlem?
So the last one, I guessed. See, I guess the people around the number. I don't feel the number will actually win anywhere. I would have to say, I guess before the last game or during the last game, I guess 19. I'm going to guess 12 because it was at 8 before.
It's 7.
Went down a stick. Boom. There you go. Again.
Oh, wait.
Uh-oh. We have a late
Correction.
entry.
We have a late correction. Like he's almost like listening to us.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I said,
Is that what he's doing? He's playing over there?
I don't know. No. So no, he just said it's now 9. So I apologize. You know, Theo isn't
That's a
getting the
big
numbers
difference.
correctly.
Could cost some money for some folks.
So 9 is the number as of this moment.
Plus 9.
Obviously unofficial,
Oh, right, of course.
but that is the correct cut.
That's good. That's we can have just an idea to kind of throw around here during our mini broadcasts. It's that final squad. We'll have theoretically something to talk about for this evening. Oh wow! How does that 7-pin not go?
You know, I was talking to Tim's dad, Ron Simonis, which is a local legend here in the Phoenix area.
Okay.
Tim's just like right on the cusp of just finding it, you know, and I think that's what Ron and I were talking about a little bit ago. He's so close. Like as soon as he just finds something, I think he's just gonna just
Kind
run
of piece
him
it all
over.
together.
Yeah, really put it together.
Yeah, he's,
and
I mean,
put
he's,
some
and
things
he's had
together.
a decent look. I mean, the entire way through.
Right.
And I think it's just, in a lot of cases, if for some of these, I don't know the levels of manipulation if he figures out the tricks with his hand. Because he's got a good ball roll. And it's just a matter of being able to manipulate, you know, hey, this ball's close, like I can do a little trick with my hand to make that ball work rather than feeling, man, I have to get out of this ball and go zone or a completely different ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to kind of stay in that little window and kind of manipulate it and make it work. Because, again, at the end of the day, you don't want to necessarily give up the pocket or give up the, if you've got a zone where even if your crossover gives you the potential to carry, because you want to avoid the 3 off the right, 3 off the left, super washout, Greek church, 4 through the middle. You know, you kind of, you know, and you can tell, you can see that he's in play. Yeah. So it's a matter, and some folks, you know, again, they don't have that feel per se. And it could be one of those deals that maybe it's one of those things like, hey man, focus on hitting it harder with your ring finger, you know, or middle finger, or do something. What we got cracking here? Something happened? Meanwhile, back at the back cave.
Well, there might be a little bit of something that may have been brought onto the approach via someone's shoe.
Okay.
But J.J. Newell, the general manager at Bowlero Kyrene, is out there.
JJ in the house.
Bowlero Kyrene has been hospitable,
out there.
though, and they have taken really good care of us this week so far.
Oh, absolutely. Their team has been great. It's been a great. You're right. I just glanced down and saw back on the concourse. Irene's actually hiding back against the back wall.
Okay.
She's down there, like, obviously on that last pair. It's hard to see her score. It does. I want to say she's on the right, upright maybe.
Let's run through the scores real quick too, because this will give us, you know, something for not only us but the viewers to kind of keep an eye on as this game ends, right? And for a lot of these players, they could set a number and feel really good about
Really
their
comfortable,
chances, right?
Correct.
Eileen being the first on that list, still leading at plus 97.
Wow. What did she have that last game? 2-0?
207.
Oh, okay.
Robert Smith plus 85. Brian Hare third at plus 78. Tim Simonis fourth at plus 65.
Okay.
Kyle Duster fifth at plus 38. Ari Wilson sixth at plus 36. And Ari again 234, 233, 220 his last three. Alec Keplinger, Kep as he is known as, plus 32. Adrian Hare eighth at plus 18. She's on 11 and 12. Dylan Taylor ninth, plus 16 after the big 238. Bobby Campanelli is 10th at plus 9. Brett Wolf 11th at plus 5. So again, Linares, Smith, Hare. Brian Hare is in front of us as well. Simonis, Kyle Duster's down on 3 and 4.
Okay.
He's on a 4-bagger, I believe. Yep, he's gone spare, strike, spare, 4-bagger. Kyle Duster, he's 38 over. And then Ari is down on the high end as well. And they're in about the 7th frame or so.
Yeah, because Ari is crossing with Sarah, and it looks like Ari's got he had back-to-back splits. But it looks like he's got a double on the board. That sounded good. Looked good. Yeah. So he puts a turkey there behind the back-to-back splits. So Hope with a pretty good pitch there.
That was a really good shot. Hopefully, you know, you do what you can when you learn, take up the things you need.
Yeah, and I think based on that shot right there, obviously she moved in a little bit and shaped it, as opposed to trying to keep everything in front of her, like she'd been battling through this set. So I think this is her first swat, actually. Now think about it. Because she bowled a sweeper last night.
She bowled a sweeper.
She
Yeah,
did. Yeah,
first
this
official.
is her first official spot. So I think that Kep, obviously, they'll have a conversation and talk a little bit. And if she bowls again, he'll, assuming that he finishes strong here, it'd be one of those deals where he can sit behind her and it's like, hey, let's make this move a little bit faster. Do this, do that kind of thing. Yeah, we'll see it all shakes out.
Shout out to J.C. Anderson from Vegas. He's at -16 right here on 9 and 10 as well.
Okay.
Arsenal Pell had a couple of 170 games that dropped him to -18.
So I will. What did you have Robert Smith out there?
Robert Smith, second, plus 85.
So Robert is currently through 7 frames and does not have a strike this last game.
Okay.
He's got a split in a second open, and he has a whole slew of spares. So he's currently sitting at 111 in the 6th, spare up in the 7th.
Your eyesight is phenomenal.
I have contacts.
I can't even see 5 feet in front of me, it seems like.
Actually, I can see better with my contacts. I can actually see better when I don't have my contacts in and have my glasses on. So, yeah.
Eagle eye.
No, it's just the deal of I always go to the eye doctor because I want to make sure, like, because I'm in a bowling center, I've got to be able to see from a distance. It's always just kind of been my thing.
Way to take care of yourself. Nice job.
I have to. So that's what happens when you get old. Giving you a heads up what you got to look forward to.
It's a big finish here for Brian Hare, coming off a single pin miss.
Robert Smith finally collects his first strike this last game. Gives it the twirly bird would do. And, ooh, yeah, okay, right here in front of us. Senior Hare.
And he was third at plus 78.
Ruh-roh Reggie.
Oh my goodness.
First one ever.
Now, I will tell you this, and Jess,
First
I
one
know
he's ever left, I'm sure.
I know Jess is watching, his wife. That right there was not funny. That was just downright terrible.
That was just terrible right there. I didn't know what the hell they're doing. That was terrible.
Alec Johnson had a question. He said, "What are some of the lefties doing?" And how many lefties have we seen besides Brett Wolf made a move in, big jump in.
Yeah, and he only is getting to 190, 197 that game. Trying to think, are there any other lefties?
Raymond Johnson, who shot 238 on this pair. He's
That's
down
right. Yeah.
there. Those might be the only two, though. I mean, they've been okay, but I can't say where they began, so I'm not sure what they did on the fresh. But Brett has had to make the big jump in, and he did that a couple of games ago. When Raymond was shooting 238, he was still around, I felt like 7-8. He's still out there right now, giving it a little loft. And you see it, bottom of your screen there. Looks like Kyle Duster can get to 212 if he makes the spare strike. So if that's the case, Kyle would then move to plus 50. Brian Hare can finish now with 186. And that will not be the case. 172, the best now he can do. Tim Simonis would love 204. So need to strike here to give himself that opportunity. Hook a little. So, Carl, you said we have the have the whole house theoretically.
We do.
Okay. So tomorrow, if all of a sudden there's this rush, not including those who have already registered, paid, and have a squad assignment.
So walk-ins.
Yes. There's ample space theoretically.
Yes. Yes.
We
Like-
see 10 players all at the same number. 5 of them might want to bowl again, just in case.
No, and here's the thing: we have a 7 o'clock squad. So other than not just tomorrow, but some of these people here that are kind of waiting and looking around right now could easily say, you know what, we got a squad in a couple hours. Let's go ahead and go again. So it's definitely very possible.
Yeah, but I think if you're going to share the hypothetical number at this point in time, I mean, obviously there's some of them that's, man, you got to feel really comfortable. Even though there's other players coming in yet tonight and other people tomorrow, man, we're through a few squad. We'll be through 4 full squads, and is there somebody? I mean, again, somebody like we talked about, somebody can walk in and just line up and just run them over, but at the same time, the pace is the pace.
No, for sure. I think somebody that 30, 40, 50 over, maybe not bowl this evening.
Correct.
Somebody
Maybe.
that's even, or that was in the number, let's say a squad or two ago, just like 0 as an example. Now do you decide to get that second squad in, maybe? I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I guess everyone's going to have an opinion and a philosophy of, do I ride the number out and see, or do I give it another opportunity now and see if I can better my number? I think that's
There's no right or wrong answer to that. That's what I'm saying.
How do you personally feel?
Exactly. And I think that just comes back to experience, or, again, not so many folks have actually bowled this kind of format. But, people are going to look at it as, well, here's what I've bowled so far. Here's what I am. And like we were talking earlier, it's one of those things that some folks that have a couple rounds under their belts, or they're watching someone, or like we were talking, if there's people watching at home, or everybody's connected in some capacity. So whether it's on social media or whatever, like, oh, hey, I'm watching this. Here's what I see. The potential of somebody going, man, it's a ball change. Oh, I have this ball. I just need to put surface on it or shine it or do something to make it better, because I didn't have that opportunity before this, when the squad was going, I didn't maybe see it get into that. So it's each squad is like a learning, because again, your better players, like you said, tomorrow Simon's going to walk in. He's going to bowl the afternoon squad. If he doesn't make it, obviously he can bowl afterwards, I'm assuming.
The 6 o'clock squad, yeah.
But it's the deal of, you're also talking one of the best bowlers on the planet, as opposed to one of, you got some folks, some guys, and even girl, heck, I mean, obviously Hope. Hope's a great bowler. I mean, she was this PWBA Rookie of the Year. She was talking to herself, and now she's going to look at it and go, and we could ask her right now, hey, did you make the right moves today? She look at you and go, no. And she knows that.
Right.
Because obviously she was late to move. She moved in a little bit this last game, and she came back. You could just see it, the wheels churning, shaking her head, going, "Man, I probably should have done that three games ago." Because again, she's kind of had her philosophy or logic off of what she saw last night in the 3-game sweeper.
Right.
6 games, 3 in a pair. It's just it's a little different.
Absolutely. This is her first full squad.
Yep.
And first full opportunity to see transition.
Absolutely. So I think that's the big thing of, and again, as people saw last night, and as we've seen every squad so far, who you follow, who you're crossing with, what your cross is as far as which lanes in this building. Just got to throw those variables in there. So. And right here, folks, on 11 and 12, this is our final pair to finish of, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're in the 9th and 10th frame here. All the other pairs are done. plenty of bowlers talking to themselves. It's so awesome. I love this. I love it when bowlers talk to themselves. I said to myself, self, let me talk to you for a second.
Robert is the king of talking to us.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, half the time he's coming off the approach. I don't know. Are you talking to me?
Who are you talking to
who
right now?
talking to?
Yeah.
A little self-talk.
He has voices in his head. It's okay, though. It's okay.
Emil Williams Jr., Carl Ong, Chris Schlamer. As we wrap up squad number 4 with you. First look at, I had a couple of cut score numbers after a few games late in the squad. I tell you, man, there were some players obviously near the top, at the top of the standings. Had a couple of tough games we saw in front of us on 9 and 10, specifically Brian Hare and Tim Simonis. Both of those players dropped to, let's see, Brian Hare went to plus 17, and Tim Simonis dropped to plus 31.
Okay.
So, you know, again, based on our unofficial number at plus 9 after 5 games today of this squad, you say, okay, maybe. If they finish those games well, that's, you know, they can walk out of here feeling like, okay, I'm going to bowl Sunday morning. You know, and now it's like, as a conversation we were just having, like, yeah, maybe I might have to go one more just to be sure.
I think Saturday is 6 o'clock. This center will be pretty busy.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, especially around 9 o'clock.
Not a question about it.
It will be super busy, I think, at 9 o'clock on Saturday as everyone, including myself, awaits the official cut score after 8 full squads.
No question. Kyle Duster did improve, though. He shot 210 to get to plus 48. Tell you, as long as Eileen Linares was able to stay out of trouble, she might
Yeah, I
not
was
have to
hoping
bowl
maybe
again.
she was going to walk down this way. Oh, here she is.
She's on her way.
All I had to do is
How about
turn
that?
around. I'm like, hey.
No black cloud there.
Want to chat with her for a minute?
Sure. Actually, yeah.
Can we chat with you? Hell yeah, jump on in here. Here, want me to hold your bowling ball? All right, so we got it? Cool. So we obviously were watching you bowl, and I don't know if you're one that pay attention to the scoreboard or what everything going like that.
No, I don't pay attention
Okay,
to
so
it much.
we won't tell you that part yet. What did you have down there in the last game?
I actually struggled on that last pair.
Uh-huh.
I actually went front 4 with opens.
Okay.
And then I just did a ball change, and I was able to fix it to a 169.
Okay. So you had 169 in the last
Yeah.
game. Okay. So Emil's got the update here. So so you have no idea what was going on like that whole time you were bowling?
No.
You were just doing your deal.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool, Emil?
I love that, personally, because that
That
never
is
really
so
happens for most
awesome.
people.
So I don't know if you know, I'm Brodo Schlim. This is Emil Williams Jr. You were leading
We
the
know each
squad.
I try not to look at the scores because I feel like I freak out more. It's like,
Okay. Well, now we're
so,
done.
yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
So what did she had?
She finished at plus 66.
Plus 66.
Actually,
Yeah.
hold on.
Plus 60 something.
You get 5, 7,
I have no idea.
6.
That's a good question. Is it 5?
I'll figure it out. You keep talking.
It's okay. Nice bowling. We want to kind of.
Thank you.
So we've obviously had some folks. Obviously, this is live streamed on YouTube, in the chat, kind of watching. And we're like, next thing you're like, oh, hey, Eileen's still there. We're like, oh, next game, we're like, oh, Eileen's still in the lead. Like you maintained the whole way through.
Yeah.
So what was your strategy coming into, like what you saw, I guess, in the practice, like as you were warming up? Is there something that all of a sudden like popped up and you're like, ooh, this is what I have to do?
The last game, I just ended up falling down and playing more straight. Kind of.
Let's say you ended up with
directing it
the
more
gold
with
ball there to the end, right? But yeah,
yeah.
obviously you're throwing exotic gem for a little bit
Yes, I
in
was
there.
Yeah, and then I went to the TNT, which read a little bit earlier for me.
You like those balls?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go, and I'm gonna go cheap plug because I'm the guy that creates those balls. So
Yeah, I
I'm
do.
the rotor guy.
They
so
work really well for me.
I
so.
create that stuff. But you know, it's funny, Emil, and I'm sure you heard that. I know you're trying to do your upload thing. It's the deal of where the zone you were playing, and obviously we've seen it in what you probably saw. Folks trying to play inside, and it's too easy to get 3 off the right.
Right.
And you actually said it yourself when you go, I saw it as hold. And that is a play of, I can tell you, from all my years of tour experience and stuff like that, like that's a play from like a Liz Johnson, from a Norm Duke. You can get out, play that little spot, keep it in front of you, and what people see as hang, you see as hold.
Right.
And so that's a cool thing to kind of bring into what because we got bowlers and people chiming in from all over watching,
Right.
and it's like, okay, well, like you said, you definitely figured something out. And so it was, cool to watch that. And again, thanks for taking the time here to explain what you saw. So, it's totally up to you. We're trying to talk about, they got projected cut numbers and stuff like that, but
Right.
you are comfortably
Yeah,
towards the top.
I still got tomorrow. I scheduled for 2 squads, so hopefully I could figure something.
You may not even have to.
Yeah.
You can still. It's one of those deals that you're comfortably in right now.
Right.
You could use it as another trial and error thing, and that's the same
Right,
kind of thing
yeah.
when you get these multiple entry events. And I can tell you from all my years, like at TATs, high rollers, different stuff like that. Once you make the cut or get it, you're comfortably in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
You still use another squad of. Kind of a practice session, if you will.
Right,
Because
like what
now
you
that
can move on
we're
and
getting
stuff
the
like that.
pattern reapplied to the lane surface here multiple times. Because again, what we saw, Emil can attest to this, what we saw yesterday morning when we came in, there were still some remnants of the house pattern.
Right.
And so the first squad yesterday morning played a little bit different than the afternoon, which then they played a little bit different than the sweeper last night. And now this is the fifth time. Fifth time the pattern's been applied, so it's starting to create that level of build-up and memory. And like I said, it's one of those things that, in your case, you gave us your secret sauce of, hey, I'm using it as hold. Everybody else, it was fun. We watched some great players and bowlers that are Hall of Famers. Prime example, Brett Wolf. So my man, I think he got 3 off the left twice, converted them both, and also got a 4 count off the left. But it's that spot of, when you're in creating angle to it, it gets up on that hump or slides off that hump. Yeah,
And
not
it's just
so
a
good.
matter of finding your spot. the way that you
Absolutely.
throw. So
Real quick, because you blacklighted the audio somehow and it went out at the beginning of this interview.
What?
Yeah. So
How do I do this?
Just
by the way, my new nickname, I've now become the Cloud.
can you repeat the secret sauce part?
All the way back to that.
Yeah.
wow,
Do you want her to talk about it or
Well,
me?
just to summarize, what worked for you and why you got to where you got to. You had the front 7 on 11 and 12 earlier today too.
Right. So as I said, I tried playing where I saw everyone bowling, which was like the middle, trying to swing it just a touch. Because obviously if you miss too far right, you're not going to get close to the pocket. And then so I just went to where I normally throw my shots, like on a house shot back home. So I'm like, well, I'll try it. It was kind of there. And then my dad told me, hey, why don't you look in this spot, move a bit further to your right, and just throw kind of like more angled into the pocket. And it worked pretty well for me. So.
And like you said, it got to the point where what we were seeing and made it easy to get that 3 off the right because people are creating angle steep to it. What most people saw as hang, she saw as hold, and so that was her secret, deal. And like she said, it was
That's impressive.
going pair to pair. Some cases balling up, some cases balling down.
Yeah.
And like you said, you got to a spot you saw down there, like, ooh, I had the ball back up.
Yeah.
So, that's, again, knowing your surroundings and, like I said, in the world of Liz Johnson's, Norm Dukes, players are really good at keeping it in front of them. That's always the one thing. And that was always, Norm Duke especially, Norm would be like, Schlem, I'm playing here because I got lay left.
Right.
Well, that's hold for him, as opposed to, the next guy's like, well, I'm kind of bumping up against it.
Right.
Okay, well, if you're good at it, and we saw that. There were some folks that were like super close, but it's like, man, the slightest bit of error, and if you get it, in some cases, maybe a board and a half,
it's going to.
I mean, it was 3 off the right, and in some cases a gutter ball.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what's cool about our sport, and the fact of there's so many variables, and you know, again, seeing the lay in the way you see it, and exactly what you said. Well, I just got to play my game. I just got to, you know, here's what I saw, and obviously you had a little help with your dad, which is totally awesome. But I'm taking advantage of it because this is what I see. This is what, you know, what's shaking. So super cool. Yeah. So we just wanted to stop you and chat with you because, like I said, I'm like, well, we got to find out what she's got cranking down there because you were the squad leader. Yeah. So see, now you know.
Yeah, now I know. Yeah, thank you.
She gave me that look. She's like,
plus 71, I believe.
Plus 71.
Unofficially.
Yeah, because we're obviously my man's doing math with an ink pen and paper.
I gotta use a calculator.
Yeah,
like, I can't do
we
much
got
with my brain.
so Carl and those guys got the iPad and doing scores and different things. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Great bowling. I don't know if Emil, you got anything else? I mean, this is your show. I'm just trying to help.
No,
I clouded and broke the stuff again, so he's gonna fix it like always.
I was very familiar with Eileen coming in, and what she did actually is not shocking to me. Now, the process of her getting there and using what everyone else had trouble with as hold is impressive. So the process to get there was amazing, but her performance is actually not shocking because, you know, from watching her compete in other places, specifically New Mexico and the New Mexico Open, I know she has this type of talent to do those things. But I'm happy she was able to do it at Squad 1, and she may not even have to bowl again.
Well, that's what we talked about. I mean, so it gets into she's got another one on the book. So, like I said, it could be that depending on how things play out,
you
it
never
could be
know.
A practice
So,
if she wants to. I mean, or it turns into, you know, hey, I'm already in, just give me my money back, you know, kind of thing. However you want to do it, but
great work.
Yeah, good on you. That was
job.
Fantastic, impressive.
Congrats. Go eat and enjoy your night.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys for
Absolutely.
having me.
Thank you.
Sorry for. I'm sorry to you, but I'm not really sorry to you. I'm sorry to you.
All right, folks. There you have it. There you is.
Sorry to anyone that I had to do it.
That was cool to get that little inside tidbit there.
That was great.
Like I said, you know, when I asked her, I go, because she had the gold ball, honey badgers, the gold one from way back when. She's like, yeah. She goes, that last year, a little tricky. Had to ball down to that. She goes, but you know, the game before down there, she goes, actually balled back up. You know, she was, you know, using exotic gem and stuff down here. Went ball down, went ball back up, and then went ball back down. So again, understanding the surroundings and understanding what's going on.
Well, we just got that update.
Okay.
So, and I just saw in the chat that Robert Smith is leading the squad.
Oh,
and according to this,
he snuck past her.
He
All
did.
right.
He did. Just enough. Even still, plus 71 might be all right.
Yeah.
And
I
Robert
think
Smith
so.
did lead the squad at plus 85. Now, that is it's still unofficial, but it's official because it's on tournamentbowl.com.
Okay.
So he went even the last game, and, of course, the 169 from Eileen there is the difference.
Yeah, she said she had a rough start down on that pair until, like I said, she the 169, she goes, I started with 4 opens in a row. She goes, it wasn't good. And ball change, and like you said, finally got down to a weaker ball. And she finally got things dialed in there, you know. So, yeah, pretty interesting watching looking at the numbers there. So, good stuff through. Where are we at now? 4 squads, 5 squads? 4 squads.
This was Squad 4.
Squad 4. Coming up next is Squad 5.
Squad
tonight.
5 at 7 o'clock tonight. Big thanks to all of our sponsors. Again, WeSpeakWifi, Mark Powell, Travel 24/7, Brightside Catering, of course, Team Agent on my home group, Create, Proofprint, and Unwind. And Unwind has been here in the building. So if you coming in to bowl and you got some kinks, not feeling good, maybe
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna have
slept
them
wrong.
see if they can fix my neck.
Maybe they
maybe
can,
if they fix my
hook
neck,
you
that
up.
the black crowd will go away. Maybe that's what it is.
That might be
We'll
it.
get that
We
ghost or
do need
whatever
to
out
check
of,
that.
out of my system.
That's great. All right, folks, Squad 5 coming up, 7 p.m. Local time, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Bowlstream TV. For Christian Lamer, Carl Ong, big thanks to Eileen Linares for dropping by. Congrats to both her and Robert Smith, those top 2 players leading this squad, and everyone else who went plus, highest scoring squad of the day. We'll see you in a couple of hours right here on Bowlstream TV.